uh, I was in there with them uh,
Ah,
after
okay.
the attack.
Okay.
Okay. So we've seen you.
Yes, so you have seen him, and like you did last time, Ryan, you had collected all the gear out of the cave that belonged to the villagers.
Right.
So
And I
among
distributed them. Right.
yeah, so for the most part, Thornburg, you have all your gear back. Um,
Cool.
all right, um, and just last night, or I guess very recently, because of your angelic guide, you received, who speaks to you in dreams, you received a vision that this would be happening. Um, this is sort of like the first time, though, something like this has really, really happened to you to this much detail and accuracy. I mean,
Okay.
you've received visions before, and you've communicated with Seraphina before, but those are usually like very minor, like, oh, like a neighbor is pregnant, or hey, this other neighbor, he's gonna have a heart attack tomorrow. But this is like a big deal because this is like affects multiple people at once, and it affects you directly.
Yeah, this isn't just gossip now. We're dealing with some real stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it seems like, once they've gotten out of the cave and they've, essentially saved your asses, um, they're currently like, kind of like in a rocky, uh, dust bowl type of area right now where, they had essentially like spiked, put a spike into the ground, tied a rope around the spike, and put that rope around a donkey's neck so that it would stay there alongside a cart. Well, that cart and that donkey is now missing. And last session, I don't know if you actually got to watch the recap or not, but
I watched a bit of it. I didn't make it all the way to the end.
oh, you didn't watch the end. Okay, well, last session at the end, you want to describe, Zorana, what happened, because I believe that you were mainly the person that was that had found the tracks, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We found the tracks of the donkey going off into the forest. And I think we found. No, wait, the cart was already there. We found the cart before we went off to the tracks. And we did notice goblin tracks by the cart and everything. And we ended up a ways away and figuring out that he probably got way ahead of us that we can get to on foot. Because the donkey, I guess, he sped up the donkey a bit.
Yeah, he's at least got. So just to be clear, there was a goblin traveling with the party that you learned was named Tot. And that goblin apparently separated from the party during the combat.
At least we assume it was tough.
Yeah, or you assume it was Tot. He separated from the party during the combat, and this goblin had apparently been taken prisoner
By the party.
by the party because he was commanded by the goblin boss to leave the caves, go to the village, and just essentially loot it all. So he was part of that crew of goblins that was hanging out in the village after you guys had arrived to the caves and were taken prisoner. So anyway, to make a long story short, Tot had left during the combat, found the donkey and the cart, essentially took both of them, and then led the cart away somewhere, took what he could off the cart, left the rest of the cart behind, along with all the other stuff that was on it, and took the donkey and rode off.
That son of a bitch must die.
So the question was, because we hadn't really, we kind of stopped right there because that donkey and that cart essentially belonged to one of the other players in the party, the Bard,
Mm-hmm.
who goes by the name of
Dan.
Pirate Dan. So, we were waiting for a decision from that player to really determine if we were going to go follow the goblin or go back to town and bring the villagers.
Okay.
So currently the villagers are actually,
Standing by the front of the cave.
sort of. They're a distance from the cave where the donkey was originally,
Oh, yeah.
tied with a rope to that spike. meanwhile, the rest of the party kind of like went off and went to go search the tracks. So at the moment with Thornburg, you're not with the party. You're actually hanging around with a bunch of villagers.
Okay.
And Morak.
Great.
Right. So
Just trying to make sure everyone's safe.
yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody for the most part they're still a little bit wrung out. They're not like hungry or anything, although it has been a day that you've been kept prisoner and not fed. But it's more of an issue of like everybody's just tired and dirty from having been in a cave and being molested by goblins for the last day or so. So I will also say that those goblins actually, some of them took some of the villagers and actually,
Wow.
ate them. Yeah, they took them prisoner and ate them.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Oh, I was going somewhere. I knew that. I thought they just fed them to the rats, though.
Did I see this happen?
You did, but there wasn't much you could do about it because you
Yeah.
were injured. Your weapons were taken from you. So I mean, everybody, you and Thornburg were essentially like the most capable combatants in the group because everybody else is just, just a commoner. And even Hiral doesn't really have high level magic. Like he's got very, very low level magic. He's just an alkalite.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's an old man on top of that, with arthritis.
Yeah.
And I apologize if you hear my son. He's being Riley.
He wants to play.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Make him a goblin.
So, anyway, so yeah, you're currently hanging out with them and like maybe about almost 30 other villagers.
Okay. Yeah, so
Like a
I guess
distance outside the cave. Yeah.
I'll just like tend to everyone and make sure they're all okay and safe and healthy. No one has any serious wounds that need tending to.
No, nobody does. But they do seem very concerned. They're anxious to be here. They want to get back home. There's also a lot of talk about the Zentarum that have taken over the town, which was mentioned, which you learned from the adventuring party that saved the villagers. That some Zentarum had stopped by, essentially took the town over, in exchange for. Was it in exchange for anything? I don't think so, right?
For safe passage, and they wouldn't hurt us.
Yeah.
Basically.
And us not hurting them, I guess, technically.
Yeah, it was like a truce, really.
Yeah.
Because
So
we
you
didn't
guys-
really know anything about the town, and yeah.
So when you tell me this, I would have been devastated. I'm from Nightstone, so I would be devastated and immediately try and convince you that should be our next move, would be to go retake the town. That would be my priority. When this
Okay.
was all relayed, I would have relayed that to you.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So you would have told them that before they left to go follow the cart tracks?
Yeah, I guess if that information was being transferred. So I'm waiting and I'm praying for their swift return, so we can.
Okay.
I'm just kind of tending to everyone and hoping that those badass adventurers come back, because I'm with an old man and a bunch of peasants and I need some help taking back this town.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so I'm gonna then refocus back on the party itself. And what are you guys essentially doing at this point?
I just remembered the cart was gone when we first came out of the cave, and we found the cart way out here. And we
Right.
were having Winter pull it back because we can't pull it back and take us forever.
And there's a lot of things missing inside of it, and we didn't really
Yes.
account for all of that.
We got that part.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
So yeah, you've repurposed the reins that did attach the donkey to the cart, so that they are now attached to Winter instead.
Okay. Well, let's see. Dan, something I have to tell you. I think that this goblin is very. He's gone. He is way gone. I've seen his trails. Zorana was talking to me. She is saying that this guy is too hard to find. I don't think that we'll be able to follow him. So I think we should go back to the town and try to work on that first. Maybe one day we'll find him again. I don't know, but I think Ed has disappeared forever.
You don't say. I don't really like the sound of that, but I guess I have no other choice, eh?
It would
All
seem
right.
so. Okay, that's enough for Dan.
All right. Well, maybe I'll just separate from the party and look for the donkey myself. What do you say about that?
If you would really feel comfortable doing that, you may do so.
I could always rejoin back up with you, if that wouldn't be too much trouble.
Oh,
Maybe
no,
that's
not
not a
at all.
bad idea. Considering it's only one goblin, I mean, how much trouble could you possibly get into?
Nah, one goblin should be fine. I can handle it myself. And
Okay.
hopefully you don't have too much trouble with the Zentarum and Nightstone if that's where you're aiming to go, so...
It would seem that way.
Well, I hope you'll be safe out here, Dan.
You know what? Maybe I'll take Marin with me, just in case.
That's a great idea. Take Marin. Marin, are you okay with this?
I think so. I should be fine.
Me and Pirate Dan can take care of it, I guess.
I want to make sure you two are safe. That'll make me feel
Zinga.
a lot better if you're together.
Zinfel, do you think this is a good plan of action?
Yes, we need to get back to the villagers.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. You guys, see you later.
All right. So you separate from Pirate Dan and Marin, who go off in search of Tot and the donkey, and you guys, the three of you, head back to the villagers.
Okay, as we're walking away, I want to like snap my fingers and then point at them as we're like going back.
Okay.
It's a Mahorande
it's a
thing.
Mondho, yeah.
It's their culture.
All right. Right back at ya. So he kind of mimics what you do and then turns tail and goes off in search of them.
Okay,
All right.
As we're-
So
as
Go
we're
ahead.
walking back, I kind of want to strike up a conversation with everyone. Morok Ongre asked us for a group name. Since we have been traveling together and we did save this town, or at least the town people, do you think that we should call ourselves something? If we're planning to stick together, that is. And I'm talking to Zinfel and Zorana as we're walking back.
I feel that'd be a great idea. Though I'm not sure quite what we would call ourselves just yet.
What do you think, Zinfel?
Yeah, no problem.
I've only got about 10 or 20 names so far, so I'm not ready to give my report yet.
Okay, well, I think we should think about it. Maybe one day we'll call ourselves something. I don't know. And I guess we just continue walking back.
okay, sure. So your prayers have been answered, Thornbur, because very soon, just a couple minutes later, the party has returned. However, this time instead of 5 people, it's just 3.
Well, thank Ilmater, you've come.
Yeah, the rest of the villagers seem, excited. Oh, not excited, but happy that you've returned as well, as gasps of or cries of joy, reverberate through the crowd of people.
Okay.
All right. So, Morax says, "What's the plan?" I'm sorry I sound like Pirate Dan, but I'll try not to. Haven't had a good drink in some time, and it's quite dusty out here.
I understand. He was a valiant man. We should all hope to be so so great as Pirate Dan. I understand.
It's true.
Welcome back, friends. Have you come to help us take back
Well-
Nightstone?
Yeah. So Thornbird, you want to describe yourself and what you look like to the rest of the party?
Yeah, so I pretty much just look like a human. I'm a little pale, maybe, but I'm a tall Asimar, which means I'm a human, but I have like a kind of a touch of a god in me.
Ooh, a god touch.
I'm a pretty tall guy, kind of average build, long red cape.
Do you have that hat too? That wide brimmed red hat?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got the hat. So I'm a cleric and a paladin, and my god is Ilmater, the god of endurance, and the holy symbol is like on my chest plate, and it's I'm wearing chainmail, and there's like a holy symbol on there. That's the two hands bound at the wrist with a red bind. So, hence all of the red. And I'm a man for flair. Like I'm very elegantly, I'm a very like clean, well kept. Got like a nice little mustache, kind of guy.
Except probably not now because you've been in a cave for.
Yeah, no, I'm looking a little ragged for sure. My hat's a little like creased.
And does the three of you guys want to describe yourselves to Thornbird?
Sure.
And at this point, just keep in mind you don't really know Thornbird's name unless you have properly introduced yourself.
I don't know.
I think we
Probably
kind of
not.
introduced ourselves to the people in kind of general,
Right.
just as our names.
He probably knows our name. I don't know if we know his.
Well, I'm Thornbur, and I am from Knights. I'm a knight of Nightstone, actually, and hearing about Lady Belrosa's death and and the invasion and occupation of Nightstone, it's my duty now to go help and help release the city from this unrighteous rule. So please, come with me. I entreat you to help.
Well, Thornbur?
Thornbur.
Is that how you pronounce that?
Thornbur.
Okay. That is a good idea. The thing is, these Zentarum, there's a lot of them, and we were very peaceful when we left them. If there is a way we can get through this diplomatically instead of with conflict, if it comes to conflict, we shall definitely help you and be behind you all the way. I actually know, I know your late lady's sister, and I'm actually trying to find her. But yes, we'll go back into more detail with that later. But as for the city, I think that it would be a good idea to not start conflict immediately. Maybe some kind of diplomatic first. Maybe we can find some way to make things work out. I don't know.
Well, there was 7 of them, and I'm pretty sure one of them died in the goblin fiasco.
This is true.
Thornbur
So-
kind of grits his teeth and he says, well, I really would prefer to dole out some righteous vengeance on these heathens.
Well,
But
to be honest,
Well, Hyrule speaks up, and Hyrule's like an older gentleman, kind of balding. He's got frazzled gray hair and a little bit of a pot belly. He has like a very soot-colored robe on with a rope tied around the waist, and he says he seems to be some sort of priest of Ilmater as well.
and
he
the
says-
moment he starts to speak up, I like drop silent. I have so much respect for this man that is like immediately apparent to everyone because I just like shush immediately once he starts talking.
He says, we shouldn't be so hasty, Thornburr. You know, if these gentleman and lady here had come up with some sort of arrangement with these occupying fellows, then maybe we should negotiate something. After all, it's as if they have full reign of the town now, isn't it? And then Morak speaks up and says, I didn't know Lady Valrosa had a sibling, had a sister.
Yes. That is a long story. I don't know if we should have time to go through the whole thing.
Well,
But
perhaps Harald is right. We have bigger problems, like that castle in the sky. I think.
Hey, that castle's not still there, is it?
Mm, not from
I
what
don't know.
we see.
Not unless it's come back, which would be
I'm-
so intriguing.
That sounds like a terrible time, actually. The thing is,
Really?
the thing is, these snakes, as they call themselves, they didn't
Formerly
Actually-
7 snakes.
do anything to your town. I mean, I guess they kind of looted it afterward, but it was abandoned, and there was goblins who were already dead, and they were already killing people. So it's not like they were. It's not like they took over the town. It's
You say they looted the town? And with that, there's a lot of, like, outcries within the crowd.
well,
No.
technically speaking, we kind of did too.
Oh, you did.
Thornburr just kind of grits his
And-
teeth and shakes his head and grunts a little bit.
What do you mean technically you did too?
I point towards the wagon that we have and like everything that's inside.
Pretty sure we were just taking supplies for preparation for saving you guys from the goblin cave.
Morak walks over and takes a closer look with his stubby hands, and he says, "Oh, well, most of this stuff looks like it's from the Lion Shield Coster."
It was.
And then he gets a deep frown on his face. He says, "Well, it's too bad that the owner died in the caves."
It is very unfortunate. We also found a few other knickknacks and stuff.
Well, there was a. I know he has an ex-wife, however, in Tribor, which is in a town too far from here.
Interesting.
Tribor.
He says, if it's not too much trouble, once we're done with our business in Nightstone, perhaps you can break the sad news of Darthag's death to his ex-wife Alestra.
Alestra.
Well, if it's an ex-wife, wait.
That is interesting. Well, we might just do that, depending on what goes down after we go to the town. have a-
And then with that also, Relix, the cat that has befriended Zinfel,
Mhm.
kind of pokes her head out of like Zinfel's, I guess, leather coat or whatever you're wearing, or maybe
coat?
she's currently under your cloak. And then Morak seems like his eyes light up when he sees the cat, the Tressum, and he says, "Hey, it looks like Relix survived after all." He says, "That's great news. You seem to have befriended it."
Yes. I was quite hungry, but it's a very nice kitty.
He says, I wasn't able to get the Zelbrins out in time. I hope they survived."
The what?
Maybe that was the house that was down where we found relics.
Oh, that's not good news at all. Did you get to see if there were any bodies there?
I don't quite remember.
There was
Zenfell?
bodies everywhere.
I think you were investigating that area.
He gives a sigh of sadness, and he says,
The only... Oh, go ahead.
he says, "Oh well, if they didn't make if they didn't survive the attack," he says, "looks like you'll be the new owner of Relics now. I think you should break the news to their son."
Where is the sun?
Certainly.
I think he lives in Golden Fields. Goes by the name of Miros.
How do you spell that?
Oh, Miros.
Got it. Just in case I have a... I don't know. Anyway, maybe we should start heading over. Do you guys have a history with the Zentarum?
Oh, of course not.
Do you know their history? I'm not around from here, so...
Not really, but Hyral, the priest, he says, "I'm a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, and there have been times when my order has crossed paths with the devilish Zentarum." He says with disdain.
So they're not good, is what you're saying.
Well, I'm an old man, and before they used to be much more devious. Now they pretend to help people, but they always have some sort of ulterior motive. As if they do it for greed or power,
Interesting.
rather than the goodness of their heart. Heathens, all of them. None of them really are righteous worshippers like the Order is. And he pats Thornburr on the shoulder friendly.
Yeah, and I've been kind of standing with my arms crossed, shaking my head at all this, and then when he pats me, I kind of nod and give a grunt. Oh.
They did seem
Okay.
like to give that kind of vibe.
Yes, they did call themselves snakes, which... not exactly the best animal to name yourself after.
That's what they are. Just a bunch of snakes in the grass, waiting to strike from hiding. He says that's the symbol of the Zentarum, a flying snake.
Right. What is the symbol of your order?
He pulls out a little pendant from underneath his tunic, his robe, and then he shows it to you, and it looks like a fist, like a gauntleted fist.
Hmm.
Here, let me show it to you. I actually have an image of it. Ba, ba, ba. I'm sorry. Once.
It's okay.
Goblins. Very
I
noisy.
hear goblins!
Yeah, I know. He is very noisy.
I've been like munching on a sandwich, so I don't know. If
Yeah. So, you see the file I just showed you guys? That image. The second one is the gauntlet symbol, the Order of the Gauntlet.
Oh, it's got like a sword thing?
It's like a hand
Yeah,
holding a sword.
It's like a gauntleted hand holding a sword. Yeah.
Okay,
That's cool. Okay.
cool.
We hold our swords by the blade, not the hilt.
That seems
Apparently.
very unpractical.
It's hard.
But maybe it is it, I don't know.
Uh,
Well, it's supposed to be symbolic, he says.
I got tough hands.
See, the gauntlet protects your hand from the blade, but that doesn't mean that the blade isn't dangerous.
Very interesting.
Thornburr looks confused.
You'll understand the analogy in time, my son.
I don't really understand, but my character's just like nodding. Yes.
All right, so with that, you guys make your way to Nightstone, and you actually get there within an hour.
Okay.
It's
What-
still
what time?
daytime.
Okay.
Yep, it's still daytime. The weather is relatively fair right now. It's a little bit windy, but it is sunny outside and cool.
Is there a
And in
way to
terms-
approach by where the castle is on the opposite side and not the main gate?
Yeah,
let's
you could
go
take the
we
long
could do
way
the long
around
way.
if you
Yeah.
wished. So,
That is where the allies
Well,
or
if
the
they're-
remaining.
If they're on the towers at all, they'll see us coming anyway. So
they are gonna see you coming. But let me go ahead and move some of you guys to the map.
I think we should take the long way around and
We could try to stealth. I don't know.
join our
stealth with
forces.
a group of 20-something people.
Well, you leave the villages behind, have the cool people go in front, you know?
Joe, would Thornburg know anything about any like secret ways into the city, or have maybe heard rumors about any such things?
No, you don't know of any rumors, but you also know that there are no secret ways into the city.
Okay.
There's only the town. It's actually more of a town with only like 7 buildings or so. And the town itself only has one way in and out. It is surrounded by 5 watchtowers, but actually, you'll get a better look of what the town looks like from a bird's eye view when I move you to that map. So
Okay.
just give me a second.
Basically surrounded by water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crocodiles.
And
And the tower,
crocodiles.
the keep itself, where Lady Valrosa actually lives, is on what's called a motte, which is kind of like a circular juts up out of the water. And there's a bridge that connects the main Nightstone village to the actual motte itself.
Except for the bridge is broken.
That's correct. Yes, the bridge got knocked out by one of the boulders that fell from the sky.
Mhm.
So, let me move you to the Nightstone map here. So you might need, it's a very large map, so you might need to zoom out in order to see everything. But if you scroll to the very bottom of the map, you should actually see a like a side view of the entire village and the keep itself. Does everybody see the map?
I see it.
What about you, Thornburg?
Yeah, I do. Oh, I do see this side view. Yep. Cool.
Okay, good. And Jay, you're good too?
Yes, I see it. Though half of it is black, I just have to move my token so I can see.
Yeah, the dynamic lighting is on, so you really can't see any of inside the village at all.
Mhm.
But yes. Oh,
By the
actually,
way-
hold on a second.
Yeah, some of our
I realized that
tokens-
some of your tokens are actually duplicated, so just give me a second. Let me get rid of that.
Oh, that's why I could see the inside. I was like, what?
Yep, I think I fixed it all. So your token check should be in the top left corner.
Yeah, I see us.
Good? We're good?
There's a giant symbol here.
Okay,
Look
good.
at that.
I think that's a compass.
Who is this woman?
Woman, please help us. We need to kill giants or something. I don't know. Haven't got that far into the story yet.
Yep. All right. So at the moment, it looks like there's a couple of Zentarum on the watchtowers that overlook the drawbridge that's currently in an up position on the west side of town. And you were right. As you approach, there's very few areas to actually hide. But you can either choose to take the long way around, so that way you're approaching from the south. But regardless, they are going to see you guys.
That's what I was thinking.
Unless you have some sort of magic that you want to use or anything like that.
The magic
No
of friendship.
I have that I know of.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Nope. I have fighter magic.
I mean,
All right.
I say we'll go in there and speak to them.
All right. So you're approaching the gate itself.
Yes. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Yep, why
And
not?
Thornbar as well.
All right. You can move yourselves if you want. Just keep in mind the drawbridge is up. So, and Thornbar, I just want to be sure you can move your token, right?
Yep.
Okay. Good.
Oh, by the way, are the villagers are with us, right?
They are. So are they like literally standing with you guys at the moment?
I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
we're gonna try to do
They
this
might be following us,
diplomatically,
I
right?
guess.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're,
mean, I
they're
think
with
we,
us.
I think
Yeah.
we
Unless
wanna,
you told. Go ahead.
we're trying to bring them back into the city, right?
Yeah.
That's correct.
So yeah, I think we'd have them with us.
All right. So yeah, you essentially have like 30 or so villagers, kind of gathered behind you. But more or less, they let you do the talking because, they're just commoners. Aside from Morak and Hyrule, who got
Right.
your back. So, standing atop one of the towers there is the leader of the Seven Snakes, the man who goes by the name of Zolkin. And on the other tower toward the south is Kella. You guys can see them, right?
I see part of them.
They're covered
Pardon
by
me?
dynamic lighting, but
Yeah,
I can see them.
All right, I'll move them up a little bit. And they also have a couple of the other, what's it called? The Seven Snakes with them as well. A couple of the other guys. So Zolkan speaks up and he says, the heroes of Nightstone have returned. He says, and with the villagers in tow. He says, that's great news. I suppose that we should just let them in?
If you wouldn't mind.
Fear us, we are giants. We are huge. We have come back and we are huge. Look how big we are. You must
What's going on?
It is true.
run in terror from us.
We are double the size of
Oh, wow.
ourselves.
That's true. I didn't even notice that.
I noticed that a while ago.
We will stomp
Let me-
on
let me-
you. Oh, we're getting smaller.
Oh, Thornbar.
What is possessing me? Oh
Oh
no!
my gosh, winters.
Yeah. My bad. I didn't realize that you guys were still sized for 10 by 10.
That's funny.
There you go, better.
Okay.
So, okay, so do you actually, he says, I trust that our arrangement is still intact.
Yes.
What was the arrangement you guys made? with
Yes,
them?
please remind the villagers what the arrangement was.
Well, that we let the villagers come back in, rebuild what they can, continue life as normal, and get Nightstone back on track. Just in the, with the Zentarum in control. And then the rest of you adventurers can just be on your way.
Thanks.
You see,
I look to Allgrey to see what his response
you see,
is.
we
Is
might
one-
be okay with
Can I make
that,
like a check or something? Oh,
but
sorry.
Your
They might
Gray
not be.
kind of doesn't look too happy about that. And his mouth is creased in a very deep frown. And he says, Right. So when he notices that you look at him, he actually speaks up and he calls out to Zolkin. So right, so you Zentarum are just gonna go and lead the town, and what about Lady Valrosa and her kin, huh? We're just expected to just hand it over and pay taxes to your little group of Zentarum there? Is that the plan? And Zolkin says, well, yes, essentially. With Lady Valrosa dead, from my understanding, and no one in the keep at the moment, at least from what we could tell, that would be the case. We'll just take it over and make it a base of operations, considering its proximity to Waterdeep, if you must really know. Not to say that you wouldn't be treated poorly here. We are letting you back into the village after all. And hey, if you don't like that arrangement, he says, you can just find some other place to live. I'm sure there'll be plenty of villagers from nearby Daggerford and Waterdeep looking to make a new home in a rebuilt town. Morak curses under his breath in Dwarvish and doesn't really like the response, but at the moment is quelled by Zokin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thornburg
go ahead.
Thornburg kind of grabs his sword. It's still sheathed, but he just kind of puts his hand on it and turns to Hiral, and says, "Please, Father, let me take care of this."
He says, "Oh boy, you know I don't like when you get all aggressive. Ilmater's supposed to teach pacifism and temperance. But if that's really the path that you wish to take, I can't stop you."
We must take care of these egregious sins. We cannot allow this to go on. You're too soft. I
walk up to Thornburg and kind of put my hand on his shoulder. If you must start something, do so when we're inside and we don't have to climb over any walls.
I like this plan. This is a good plan.
Thornburg takes like a deep breath, and he's like trying to calm himself, and nods.
Well, a lot of the villagers, actually a surprising number of them, a vast majority of them actually want to get back inside the village. And you see that they just say, if I don't really care. I mean, if it means that we're able to go back inside and rebuild, so what? I don't mind being led by the Zentarum. And Morak's trying to speak out against it, but he seems very overwhelmed by the vast majority of opinions within the crowd.
Damn, I don't know what to do.
They just want to go back home.
Well, perhaps if this is the will of the people, maybe it is time for our good friend Morak to swallow his pride.
I'm going to step up
It would be a
towards
mistake.
Zolkin, and I'm going to say, now, what would happen if maybe there is an heir to this town and she lives? What would happen to everything?
He looks at Kella at the other tower for a moment. I know of no such heir. They'd have to prove lineage. And even then, well, depends on what sort of foothold we have here. Do you have such an heir among you? And he kind of gives a wry smile, knowing that you don't.
Guys, what do we do?
Perhaps we need to let the people go to their homes. That is our priority now. Once we find this heir, then we can deal with it and take back Nightstone.
Yes, we could always come back.
That is true.
It's not like they're going anywhere.
And the glory will be greater when we can restore the rightful heir
This is very true.
and not just create a vacuum of power.
I agree.
Thornburg
Morak says,
still taking deep breaths is like finally like his rage is subsiding a little bit.
Morak says, I think it's a good plan. But I hope that what you're saying is true, boy. And that if you do find this heir, that you bring her back here to take over her rightful place as leader of the village.
By Ilmater's hands. Yes, I will do this.
Yes.
All right, so Morak steps up and he says, all right, we've agreed to your terms. We're going to come forward now. If you could lower that drawbridge. And he raises his hand, showing that he's got no weapons currently on him. So Zolkan gives the signal to Luck in the other tower and Bernardo, and you see that they go down they disappeared into the deeper level of the tower itself, and then the drawbridge starts to slowly lower. You can hear the winch turning as the chain releases the drawbridge until it's eventually level. And with that, like most of the townsfolk, they don't wait; they just rush right in.
Okay.
A few of the weaker ones on older people, they do. Zolkin says, "Now hold on there," as he points at Kareem. He says, "Just because I'm letting these villagers in doesn't mean that I'm stupid enough to allow all you adventurers in as well." He says, "Armed adventurers with magic to wield," he says, "and only 8 of us. I don't like those odds too much. And hey, weren't you with a couple of others? What happened to them?"
They had their own business to take care of. But on the topic of this, we have no...
They're chasing their
Yeah.
ass.
They are chasing their ass, if you must know. This is true. It's a very fine ass, I may so say myself.
Thornbur steps up and yells to Zolkin. I cast thaumaturgy to make my voice really loud, and he says, "You're right to fear us. You best respect the air when we bring her back, or you will feel our wrath."
All right, why don't you make me an intimidate check there?
Okay.
And by the way,
oh,
Hyrel.
Oh,
Damn, man, you crit your intimidate check.
Oh,
It's always a good sign when the first
25.
roll,
roll,
of
baby.
the campaign is a 20.
25.
Nice.
Getting himself.
It was the booming voice effect.
It was definitely the booming voice because Zolkan actually like visibly looks shaken by your words, and he says in a very quiet, but you could tell like there's an underlining sense of fear in his words. He says, "We'll see about that." Hyrule says, "Calm, my son." He says, "I'll be here waiting for you when you return."
Well,
He
I will be at peace knowing that you are safe.
He says, "I guess I'll just have to find another acolyte to do the dishes and mop the floors." He says, "Keep yourself safe out there, whatever you decide to do. If your path truly lies with these heroes," he says, "let it be known that that is the will of Ilmater."
Thank you, Father. And I like kind of put my hand on the back of his head and like put our foreheads together. You know.
He does-
And
He does the same to you as well.
I say, "Take care of yourself, old man." And then I release him.
Morek says, "Hey, so, I guess this means goodbyes, right? Well, as I said, I hope that you're able to find out, if you could maybe give a word to Miros." He's trying to get the words out, but he's stumbling a little bit because he seems like he's a little, disturbed that the town's in such a wreck, and he says that's the Zelbrun family cat. So if you would mind telling Miros what happened to his parents, maybe he might want to take that cat in after all.
I look to him, Allgrey, and I say, "Do you have any magical abilities? Just wondering."
Priorities.
Why do you ask?
Well, I was wondering if you had any way to message us besides maybe, I don't know, maybe have a bird. I don't know. Because if they do anything, we got your back. You realize that. If they mistreat you, we will come back here immediately, with air or no air.
No, unfortunately, I don't, Kareem. But what I can do is I could send the occasional letter to Waterdeep, or maybe someplace else. if that would help. He says,
Okay.
you know, if you're headed up to Tribor, and you actually go tell Darthag's ex-wife that Darthag passed on, maybe I can send you a letter there, just to let you know everything's fine. You know, if you ever return that way, that is.
That sounds like a good idea. Are you
Yes.
guys okay with that?
Yes, I think this is a good plan. I would be happy to know that Nightstone is safe.
Zinfel, you have magical abilities, correct?
I've read a couple of things. I have some stuff in my books I haven't tried out yet. Why? What do you need?
Well, maybe you have a way of communicating with people from far. I don't know.
Oh, that would be really good, but I don't have that one just yet.
Okay. Maybe one day we will. Yes, a letter there in a few weeks, or if we ever go there, we'll be able to pick that up and make sure that Nightstone's okay. But we will return with an heir. I mark my words. Or die trying, or I'll die trying. I don't know.
You know, come to think of it, I don't know what your plans are next, but you know, there's also Samil. Samil had also passed in the giant attack. It would be nice if somebody would tell Samil's brother that she passed on.
And where does he live?
Oh, ways up real north, where those winds blow fierce in the Icewind Dale. I heard he lives in Bryn Shander. Goes by the name of Markham. I think he's the sheriff there, to be honest.
What was the name?
Smeal's brother.
Markham in Bryn Shander of the Icewind Dale.
Markham,
Okay.
Bringe, you know.
Yes, this is. I do know of a contact in the Order of the Gauntlet who lives in Bryn Shander as well. Perhaps this will be a place we will find ourselves in the future.
Hyrule nods and he says, Yes, I think that may be a good idea. He says, you should learn and meet other members of the Order. He says, if you're going to be traveling, they can lend you aid, whatever it is that you may be doing.
I also wanted to mention, Ogre, there were some people still alive in the castle area, or whatever, the tower? I don't know what you call it.
Oh, the keep! The keep!
Yes, the keep. That is what I meant, yes.
Oh, do they know that? Do the Zentarum know that?
Not that I know of. I hope they're alive.
I think
We
they
left
did
them with
mention
some...
that they don't know that there's anyone there. That it looked empty to them.
They did say that in our conversation here, but they could be lying too. I don't know.
So what are you supposing we do about it?
I have no clue. Maybe get them out of the keep at least and bring them into their town. I don't think they'll kill them. I mean, why would they? I don't know. I don't know what will happen. That is something I was worried about. They're the ones who gave us the mission to find Claire in the first place. Claire is Varosa's sister. What's her name? Is that right?
Oh, I see. All right, well, I guess we'll try our best to get them out of the keep, and hopefully they don't cause any trouble with or the Zentarum don't cause any trouble with them. But don't you worry about it. We'll, me and Hyrule here, we'll do our best.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Hyrule nods sagaciously.
Keep us posted any way you can. We'll try to contact you again too. Maybe if we can get some kind of message to you, we'll be able to tell you where we are or where we're going, and then you can send a message over there. We'll figure something out.
That'll work.
Nods.
Do any of you guys want to say anything? I look to the party.
Wait, I still have this cart strapped to Winter.
It's true.
It does not look comfortable.
Yeah, what's in the cart? Can we look into that?
There was
Yeah,
stuff that was
yeah.
taken. You did say
I can
it's-
tell you what's in the cart if you want to take stock of all that right now. Is that the
Yeah.
plan?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that.
we might leave some of it behind.
Or just give me a
Right.
second because I want to make sure that you guys understand the context from the other villages and cities you just received. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know that
Yeah, there's a lot
Markham,
moving.
yeah, Markham and Bryn Shander of the Icewind Dale is brother to Samil. He's also the sheriff there. All right. I don't know if somebody's adding this to the party
was-
journal.
I'm
or
actually
not.
just
I
I'm
was just
writing it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was writing as well, but I could do it in the journal. All right.
So Samil. So why did he want us to go there? I forgot.
For just to tell Markham that Samil passed away.
Right.
Got it.
I think we have a ring
Yeah.
Which
in our
Ring.
party loot.
That's right. Which way did which way did Allgrey say he was going to send his message first? Because he did say there was like one particular
Tribor.
town that he said.
Wherever you
Tribor.
want.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Whatever.
suggested Waterdeep or Tribor. But it's really up to you where you want
Oh,
a
God, there's
message sent.
so many names.
Waterdeep
many
is
things.
the largest city on the Swords Coast. It's like the New York City of. It's actually like the LA of the West Coast.
Ah, cool.
Whereas like Neverwinter is probably like the equivalent of San Francisco.
There's a lot of choices here, guys. What do you think we should do next?
Mm.
I also have. I take out the notes from Lady Barossa, and I show it to everybody. This is where Claire is supposed to be at. Apparently, she's in the Yak Folk village above Ironslag. Maybe?
What?
I don't know.
Oh,
And
that-
can I show them the note? Is there a way to show that to them?
Yeah, you just copy the contents of the note right into the chat log if you
Oh
like.
yeah, I could do that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
But I'll make it public too. What's the owner of? Here, I'll actually, you know what? I'm just gonna make this note public here because
Uh-huh.
there's actually significance to the strikeouts that are in the note.
Yeah, I know, and they don't show up in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I have from the note from Lady Barossa.
So whoever speaks Dwarvish or can read Dwarvish knows that Mount Hammerhast is the Dwarvish word for hammer of ashes.
I don't speak Dwarvish.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of choices here. What do you guys think we should do first?
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to eventually making our way to Icewind Dale, where I can meet my contact in the Order of the Gauntlet. I think we'll be able to at least have some help there, but it is a far ways away, so maybe we should tackle some of these closer objectives.
We also don't have any information on these areas. Have any of you heard of Yak Folk village from Ironslag? Above Ironslag?
I don't think so.
I have not either. So this could be a very dangerous place where we're not even prepared for. We don't even know. I think we should gather information at one of the towns first before we can.
I have heard of the Tribor Trail.
Anybody trained in history or proficient in history?
No.
Let me double check.
I think I might be
Yes.
actually.
I am, yeah.
But I know nothing
I'm not.
unless I have advantage.
Not very historic today.
Nope.
All right.
I say
So-
we could head north and stop by whatever place that we can stop by and let
Yeah.
people know on the way.
Joe, do we know like which direction the Tribor Trail is, or
Yeah, so actually in the party journal, there's actually a map under the Forgotten Realms section in the players folder.
oh, nice.
So there's actually two maps there. One of the Sword Coast itself.
I have
So
that open.
currently where Nightstone is located, it's kind of like halfway between Waterdeep and Daggerford.
Okay.
Tribor is actually on that map. But I noticed that and obviously Icewind Dale's also there, but it's like way up to the north, even past Luskin.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
geez.
of Golden Fields, I'm trying to see if Golden Fields is on the other map.
I don't see a Golden Fields up north.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I put an actual link in the map of the north, where you can actually download like a high res version of the map.
Oh, nice.
That you can zoom in on if you like.
Oh, whoops.
That's what I
Because
have
it's
open.
it's kind of hard to read this map because it's so large. From the journal itself. But yeah, I think that's part of the fun is actually finding where these towns are on the map.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do that a lot.
But if you really want me to, if you're really having a hard time,
No.
I can show it to
That's
you.
cool. Yeah. No, I see Tribor's pretty close by.
I am terrible with maps. I do not know where I'm going.
Makes
you
sense
get over
considering you're from another country.
You know, where I'm from, there's just desert. That's it. It's not very hard to walk around.
Very true. Yeah. So if it would make it easier for you guys, you know what I'll do is I'll just I'll kind of move you over to the map of the north here.
Whoa. Maps.
And then you know what? I'll reveal a little bit of the map.
Where did the Zentorum guy? What's his name?
Centaurum? I think they came from the south. But they did mention
Zolkin.
Daggerford.
Zolkin just named something. Yeah, he named Daggerfall,
Yeah.
right?
Because it's close to Daggerford, that's why they wanted to set a base of operations here, is what he said.
So that means they must have some kind of operation over in Daggerford. So
Makes
Most
sense.
likely.
that's a thing.
Hmm.
So I've revealed a few other areas on the map. If you zoom out, you might be able to see them all.
Mm-hmm.
It'll give you a very good idea of where everything is in relation to Nightstone.
Okay.
So right now,
So Goldenfield seems like the place to be because that's on the way.
yeah, it seems like
We could head up north.
Golden Fields and Tribor, and Icewind Dale. These are the places where we have things to do,
Yeah,
People
and
to see.
we can gather information there too.
Yeah, so perhaps, just going on that trail to Golden
For now.
Fields and
Yep.
start heading north from there. I do like the name Golden Fields as well. Sounds like a divine place.
I look to Allgrey. Allgrey.
Yes.
If you could send mail to Tribor, that should give us enough time, because we'll eventually end up going there sooner or later,
Yes.
and we'd be able to take the mail and see how things are going. I hope things will be okay by then. And if we don't ever travel there, we'll message you and maybe send you somewhere else to send some kind of mail. If you're alive, that is.
I hope to be. Not planning on going anywhere. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'll send a letter to Tribor in a few days, and then I'll let you know how things have been going.
That sounds like a good idea.
And I'll give you some means of being able to contact for me, if you need to.
Wonderful.
And
Let
we
us
will.
know what's been going on with your search for this Claire. You said her name was.
Claire Nadar, yes.
All right, I'll spread the word to the villagers as well, but quietly.
That sounds good.
Very quietly.
Anybody else want to say anything? Is there something we're missing? Is there more here? I don't know.
I think we should set off. Begin our
So-
search for Claire.
Thornbar, you're coming with us then.
Indeed. Zentarum don't want me here. I don't think I will be much help. I'll just
Yeah.
probably do more harm than anything. And
Then
it
I
seems
think
that
you'll.
this mission to find Lady Velrosa's sister is a righteous one.
Yes,
Agreed.
I think so too.
So
Okay,
do you
I
want
guess.
to take stock of the cart right now?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We want to do that.
Okay. So let me take care of that.
Could we have a cart notepad?
You want a separate
No,
handout
no,
for the
no,
cart
no, no,
itself?
no, no.
Yeah, I
No,
could
no,
do
no.
that. No, not
Well,
necessarily.
we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna use the cart unless you want Winter to be pulling it the whole time, Susan.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Which is exactly why I'm thinking that'd be a bad idea.
We could leave it here with the villagers. I mean, most of the stuff I'm sure was theirs anyway, except for
Right.
the lion's
Just take
shield
some of the supplies.
stuff.
All right. So then what I'm going to do is let me tell you, is somebody going to write this down? I guess
be
in the
writing
loot if you want.
Oh, yeah, I'm writing it on a piece of paper right now, but
Let me get the loot.
I'll transfer it to the loot when I'm. I
I'll
can't type
edit.
that fast.
Okay.
If somebody else wants to do it, yeah.
I'll put it into the loot.
Cool.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right, here's just a copy directly from Dan's character sheet of everything that was originally on the cart. This is not necessarily what's on the cart now.
Okay.
So, and that's including the cart itself. So what was actually taken were 5 of the sacks. Those are missing, so it only has 5 left. All 8 days of rations were taken.
Damn it.
The tent was taken. The 10 days of feed were taken. The bedroll was taken. The brass brazier was not. The bolts were taken. One of the crowbars was taken. The portable rams were not taken. The manacles were not taken. And for some reason, there's like 3 tents at the bottom. Those were not taken. Both locks were taken, and so was the chain.
These manacles, do they lock? Or what am I thinking? Is that manacles? Yeah.
Is like a...
They just don't
Yeah.
have a lock with them.
Yeah, they're like handcuffs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So they don't
correct.
lock by themselves.
They
need
don't
to-
lock by themselves. You need a lock.
Okay. And the chain's gone too. Well, we could
correct.
still like, we might be able to like trick somebody with that maybe one time. I don't know. I don't know how big is a ram? Like,
A portable ram.
A Puerto Rican, you might be able to find it in the journal. I mean, in the SRD. You go to the little eye icon. Yeah, it's in the SRD. It's pretty big. It weighs 35 pounds.
okay,
I
that
don't
sounds like a
think
no
we-
go.
I don't think we need a portable ram.
Yeah, that sounds.
I think all I had with
Do
me
we-
that was really heavy that I wanted to keep is the alchemy kit, traveling alchemy kit.
Oh,
Was there-
speaking of which, is anybody actually... I gave the opportunity for one person to swap out a proficiency, a tool proficiency.
I
Uh,
was already proficient in.
Alternatively, I think Thornburr,
hmm
part of your background gave you proficiency in 2 languages.
Yeah.
according to the rules, you don't have to take that. You can get 2 tools instead.
I would happily have 2 tools instead.
Yeah. So, and then those 2 tools could be the stuff that you need to create potions.
I would need alchemy and herbalism.
I have
Yeah,
herbalism
That's correct.
proficiency.
Yeah, but
so
for somebody to be able to create something, they need to have both.
you have both. Mm.
Like to be able to create healing potions.
People can't work together.
No, oh, that's great. I'll do both of those.
Nice.
And then the herbalism is more just it's for like harvesting materials. And
That's
the
correct.
alchemy kits for like making things with them.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, Susan can still use her character to harvest stuff for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like working together anyway.
That's cool. I'm the healer guy anyway. That'll be good for me to make some potions.
We both have an
So-
understanding in it.
I think also in the file, the alchemy file, I actually listed the additional recipes that you guys found.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that file?
Yeah, I looked at that up for a second. It was like the poison or the antitoxin and the potion of climbing, I think was one of them.
Yeah, they're in there. Alchemist fire, potion of climbing.
Yeah, the 3 recipes that were found were the uncommon ones that are listed toward the bottom.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Oh yeah, animal friendship, greater healing. Well, I wrote that down too.
Cool.
Okay.
And don't worry about these little ingredients that I put here. That's just for flavor.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't go crazy trying to get that stuff.
So what? Like, if I were to ask a town person, maybe ask for the ingredients, or just like, hey, you got these things, or I don't know.
No, it'd just be like, oh,
We're
buy
just looking
50
for like
gold
alchemist
worth of-
supplies,
Yeah.
or
pretty
do I
much.
just actually like spend the gold pieces
Spend the gold
Yep, yep.
piece.
on?
Yeah, you
alchemist
would
supplies?
need to actually spend the gold pieces and buy alchemist supplies.
Okay.
So
Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, one of these days I'll get my hands on some alchemist supplies.
Soon enough. Okay, I kind of updated what I got was in the mic. Or the mic, wow. The the cart. From what you said was taken, I got 5 sacks, 1 brass brazier, 1 crowbar, 4 manacles, 1 portable ram.
both portable rams.
Both portable rams, okay.
Wait, what are we actually taking though? What's a brazier?
Brass brazier. I think that's
It's a brazier. It's made out of brass.
What does it do though?
That's pretty badass. Like a Xena warrior princess thing.
I googled portable RAM and I just got a bunch of RAM sticks for
Oh,
the
God.
computer.
Do we have RAM? Dude, oh my god, we can make our computers here so much better. More RAM.
Okay. Well, we could take the 5 sacks? 5 sacks of what? Just 5 sacks? Just empty bags? Or yeah.
Are all those sacks left? Or you said some of them are
There's
taken?
5. There's 5 sacks left. I wrote down what was left.
Okay. Well, I did too, but no one has me.
Well, if you all want to take this stuff, we just need to carry it as far as Waterdeep. And then we can get a mule or a horse or any number of things to help carry it all as we continue forward.
That's true. Maybe Winter could carry it just a bit
To
further.
water, dude.
Yes, how
Would you
many
like to go
days
there?
would it take us to go to Waterdeep from here?
I mean, there's not that much left. I mean, there's 5 sacks, 1 brass brazier, 1 crowbar, 4 manacles, 2 portable rams. Actually, I didn't hear if we had the locks and
I know.
chains left.
Well, as you guys are debating that, Hyrule, he went into the town after he said his goodbyes, but he actually comes back, and he's got a bundle of alchemist supplies that he gives to Thornburg. So he gives you 100
Oh.
gold worth of alchemy supplies,
Oh, wow.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
and he says, "For your travels, my son." She says,
Thank
I know
you.
you'll put them to good use with what I've taught you.
I will do my best.
All right, you guys say goodbye one more time, and then he goes back into the town, and the gates are closed.
Well, I guess we'll
Okay.
drag the cart with us to the next town.
Okay, let's get on the road. Here we go, guys.
All right, so the plan is to go back to the main thoroughfare, the main road that exists between Daggerford and Waterdeep.
It
Yep.
seems so.
Yes.
Okay. That's a
Okay.
10-mile journey that takes not very long at all. Just give me a second here, 'cause, why don't we take a little bit of a break?
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, like a
I was gonna ask
5-minute
for that.
break.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Very well.
I'm gonna grab some food.
Cool.
Right back.
That's a bit.
Hey, I walked 13 miles in 3.5 hours. Can't
You
take
walked 13 miles in 3.5 hours?
Yeah, I had to do a half marathon.
Yeah,
I
that's
think I
possible.
told you.
Yeah, you could
That's
walk
what
at
it
a
was.
fast pace and do 4 miles in an hour.
Yeah, I like ran the first mile, and I'm pretty sure I effed up my feet, and I could not run after like 6 miles. I had to walk with pain the whole rest of the way. But I did it in like 3 hours and 22 minutes or something.
It's tough. Yeah,
Why did I do that? I don't know.
I don't know.
It was a company thing that our boss paid for, and I was the only one that ended up going because everyone else did not want to go.
What do you do? You work for an IT company or something?
I work for a VoIP phone company.
Oh, okay. Well, you provide support?
I do support. I mainly take care of inventory and programming new accounts. So I get
Do you
all
have to
the.
you have to go to school for that?
No,
Like, do you actually code?
no. There's
No?
no actual code. It's like a UI portal we go through, or we
Okay.
use and program all this stuff through. And we have like a developer that does our code for us. Basically, the program, whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I use the portal and I program everything through there, basically setting up numbers and users and call queues and auto attendance. I pretty much take care of like all the programming and provisioning of the phones to our servers, and I get all that ready. I talk to customers and figure out how they want things done to their exact specifics. And then after that, the techs install stuff.
All right.
It's more or less IT. I call it IT because we do take care of a lot of people's internet being, voice over internet. A lot of people are like, "Oh, our phones don't work," and then we're like, "Oh, your internet's down." So we can help you fix that,
Cool.
pretty much.
Are you in school or are you finished with school?
I only did 2 years of school, so I'm finished. I was finished a while ago.
Oh, okay.
I only went to school.
So you got
for-
your associates?
Yeah, I got a Associates of Applied Science, an AAS, not like a regular associates. I was trying to like learn everything really fast and then leave.
Because you hated it?
No, I just hate school in general. I loved learning. I just hate school and wanted to get out. But
Mhm.
I got that plus 3 certificates that came with it. It was like a certificate in computer science, certificate in web development, and a certificate in database management. So I know like a lot of the basics, and I can study pretty much everything else beyond that on my own.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
Since I teach myself anyway, I thought it was the best thing to do. Besides just doing art, which would not be as useful, I feel like, since I already could do art.
Yeah. But keep that up, man. I think your art's pretty great, so you should
Thank
keep practicing.
For sure. I've been distracted too much.
It's hard when you have a full-time job to get that stuff done.
I've been playing WoW. Dang WoW.
All right, I'm gonna step away for just a minute or two. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, who do we have back?
I'm here.
I'm here. I'm just eating.
I'm here.
All right. I don't think we have Susan then. All right, so I guess what I'm going to ask the group is, how exactly are you planning on getting to Golden Fields, or are you making a stop anywhere else along the way? If you go a direct
Waterdeep
route,
looks like-
yeah, you could, and that would mean that you would take the roads. You would take literally the road back to the high road, right? That's about 10 miles, and then you would travel northwest toward Waterdeep, and then you would take from Waterdeep, you would take the North Furrow, which is kind of like a tradeway between Golden Fields and Waterdeep itself. But that literally means that it would be a lot safer because you're traveling along roads, but it is going to take you much longer.
I mean, we have to go there anyway because we don't want Winter to be carrying this thing the whole time. Right? I don't know. I thought that was the plan.
Yeah, I think.
Oh boy.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
it is quite a distance, right? You're seeing that too, right?
Yes, yes, it is.
So you could probably get to Waterdeep sometime tomorrow, because overall it's about 44 miles away.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you avoid the roads and you just go directly there. But like I said, 10 miles to the North Road, and then from the North Road to Waterdeep is another roughly 30 miles. So about 40 miles away. So you could travel at a fast pace at 4 miles an hour, a normal pace at 3 miles an hour, or a stealthy pace at 2 miles an hour. The benefit to going fast is obviously you're faster, but also it would mean that you would get a -5 on your passive perception checks. So if there just happen to be bandits in hiding, they have a better chance of hiding from, surprising you. Whereas if you go slow, then you guys can make like a stealth check as a group, and then I would take the average roll, and that would be your stealth check, and then you can advance safely. Doesn't mean you always be successful, but it is something to think about. So, like I said, 40 miles away, if you go fast, it's still going to take you 10 hours. And keep in mind that right now it is daytime and it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon. and I'm gonna say that the sun sets probably around 7. I'll say like right now the weather is kind of like late summer.
So it'll take 10 hours at a fast pace, you said.
Yeah, to get to Waterdeep.
You go to
So
normal
regardless,
pace.
you're gonna have to like stop at some point unless you want to travel through the night.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if you don't take roads, you can just travel through this area surrounding the Ardeep Forest, cross at some point the Desserin River, and then go to Golden Fields directly. Now that's much faster. So I mean, if you go through the forest itself, that's about 66 miles.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a folding
That could be
boat?
Not to mention there could be like animals and stuff in the forest. We don't know what's in there.
I see no great hurry
Yeah.
that, I think we might as well take the road and travel like civilized folk.
And then
And we
make a
could meet
camp
cool people
halfway.
in Waterdeep.
Yeah, you could. So is that the consensus then?
Let's travel the
Think
world
so?
road and then make camp probably near sundown.
Mm-hmm.
So only about a couple and a half hours lead you back to the high road. You're going at a normal pace, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and about 3 hours later, you reach the high road itself, and you only have about a couple hours of sunlight left, so you're able to make it a little bit on the high road toward Waterdeep. Upon which, really, during that time, you don't encounter anyone on the road. It's pretty quiet and normal because people are already setting up camp for the night, and fortunately for you, these roads are pretty safely protected at the moment. Meaning that there's no bandits looking to rob you or anything like that at this time. So you set up
And the
camp for the night, I
protected
assume,
here.
when 7 o'clock rolls around.
Yes.
Okay. Who's taking watch?
Mm.
I
I
could take
can-
first watch, or whenever it's darkest, really, because I have dark vision. I could take.
Yeah, I as well am good at seeing in the dark. I would be happy to. Although I got worn out in the cave, I think you guys all got more worn out than I did. So I'm happy to take a walk.
Oh, yeah, we did lose
Take a watch.
Kareem. But you could also go for a walk while you watch.
It'll be a walking watch. Yes.
Yeah, there's actually 10 hours a night, so the sun will rise at approximately 5 a.m. So, if I heard correctly, Zorana's taking the first watch.
Or we'll have Thornbrew take the first watch.
Sure. I'll
Yeah.
take the first one, and then you can
I can
step
take
in.
after.
Okay. And are you guys trying to? Are you just splitting it up evenly, like 5 and 5?
What's going on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. That's fine with me. I don't need too much rest tonight.
Okay, sure. So roughly around midnight is when you'd be waking Zorana up, and then she would take over. However, before that happens, you notice that the skies start to get very, very cloudy. There's some rumblings in the distance, as if a thunderstorm is rolling in.
Does this look familiar to me? Similar to what happened in Nightstone?
Oh no. But it is a little bit foreboding.
Okay.
You kind of put you on edge. Did you set up a campfire for the night?
Yeah. I definitely have a fire going.
Okay. So the campfire, due to the excessive wind this night, is blowing about wildly, sending shadows across the neighboring bushes and trees, causing your eyes to dart wildly to the right and left as you think that there are moving shadows around you. But fortunately, eventually midnight comes, and although the winds have calmed down, the sky is very overcast, and a light drizzle starts to fall. Just as you awake Zorana and let her know that it's her turn.
I'm glad I'm in this cozy tent.
Yes. My turn.
I'll take watch.
All right. So Zorana, while you're taking your watch, maybe about like an hour into it, you're watching the sky. Like I said, it's very cloudy overhead, but for some reason, it almost looks like there seems to be a star in the distance that exists under the cloud cover, and you're like, that's impossible. There's no way stars exist under the clouds. But as you're watching it in the distance, it kind of makes the hair on the back of your neck stand, and you realize that although it's moving very slowly, it is actually moving, and it looks like it's essentially like traveling in your direction, or toward the direction of the northwest.
Houston, we have an unidentified object in the sky.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, like a UFO in the sky. But it is traveling so slow, and it's so hard to make out that, like I said, from this distance, it just looks like a star. But as the dawn comes sooner and sooner, and 5 o'clock approaches, it starts to get bigger and bigger until it's like practically close enough that you can make out some significant detail. And what you see is a very odd sight. What it looks like to you is sort of like a 3-story tower, but immensely large. Just give me a second to tell you exactly how big it is.
I can tell size from down here.
Yeah, well, just roughly. Just roughly. Your best guess is that it's probably, anywhere between 300 and 400 feet. And the oddest thing about it is that it almost looks like the tower is kind of, it's conical shaped. It's made out of stone. And very weird, a very weird feature it has is that it's floating on a cloud. And it looks like the tower itself has got kind of like what a magician or a wizard would wear on his head. In other words, like a wizard's hat.
Wizard hat on. Oh.
Is sort of the best way to describe what the tower looks like. So it's a long, almost 400-foot tall tower where like the top quarter of it is composed by, a magician's hat. Yeah. And it's floating on top of a cloud. And you notice that, now you can really make out the details because, like I said, the sun is rising and the light in the sky just illuminates it much more. And you can tell, like, it's nearly, like, it'll be here within, like, 10 minutes.
Uh-oh. I'm going to wake everybody up 5 a.m. because you'll be fine. You started sleeping at 7. It's plenty of sleep. Guys, I don't know if we should be worried, but there's a rather funny looking Tower of the Wizard Hat that might be here fairly soon. I mean, I don't think it'll attack us or anything, but who knows? Could be something to worry about.
Definitely.
It's rather ominous. And hilarious.
That does not look.
I
Yeah.
mean,
proper.
it's big enough. I'm sure almost anyone else around us might be able to see it.
You can
Perhaps.
tell that it is floating above the ground, probably about 1,000 feet or so.
Okay.
Yeah, perhaps we should
I don't have rope
continue
long
on our
enough.
way.
Maybe we should continue.
We should pick up the pace a little bit as well.
Yeah. Continue such a way that they might not see us, or probably start throwing rocks at us
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we should go slow and
stealthily.
be stealthy. That's a good idea.
You're gonna move out? Okay, you go do that, and I'm gonna go hide under this tree over here. What are you, fools?
But they could be heading. They could be heading to Waterdeep now. They could be. They could be leading an attack.
They were headed this way since the morning. I've been watching them all night. But I don't know if they might be actually headed to Waterdeep or, I guess, towards our deep forest.
Oh,
Can I tell which
Well,
direction they're
are they heading
actually
to Waterdeep?
continuing?
It kind of seemed like they were just traveling in a northward direction.
Oh.
And as you're watching it and you're kind of breaking down the camp, telling people to essentially, some people are going for cover, some people are. What is everybody essentially doing? Is anybody actually hiding, or trying to run away, or? Well, why don't we
Well-
just go from left to right? What is Kareem doing?
I'm gonna take whatever the rest of the group is doing and follow suit.
Wait, if they're
Right.
gonna be here in 10 minutes, maybe we should hide. You're right, Sinfil.
Yeah. Okay. Let's hide.
Hide under some trees and cover.
I'm not very sneaky. I warn you. That is
They're
not my
1,000
strong
feet
suit.
up.
Nor am I.
Should have some
All right.
advantage.
So Zorana is also gonna hide then? Is that the
Correct.
plan generally? The whole party is gonna do that?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
all hide ourselves.
Yep.
All right. Why don't we go ahead then and make stealth checks?
Okay.
Oh boy.
Stealthy stealth. I'm at disadvantage because I'm wearing armor. Okay.
Oh yeah, me too. Oh no, I don't need to roll again. They already have it. Ignore
Yeah,
that.
that's-
Ignore that. Forgot.
that second roll didn't happen.
Can
It's the 6. I got a 6 from the first one.
Zinfel?
Zinfel just starts rummages through her pack, opens up a book, flips through some pages, and she starts reading and mumbling some kind of incantation, and creates. She's just going to make a 15-foot cube overhead of all of us, so it looks like normal terrain, empty terrain. Just using a silent image to just, from the top view, we would look like just rock. Just
Okay.
regular rock.
But just keep in mind, though, you guys had a camp here, right? So I assume that bedrolls were out, tents were out. You had kind of like a smoldering fire.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably put all that out, put everything away super fast.
I believe what you're trying to do, Zinfel, is create an illusion.
Yes.
What spell?
Silent image.
Silent image. All right, just give me a second to look it up just to be sure.
Well, maybe let's quickly move away from the camp and hide off of the road a bit.
Sure.
This is the spell. I put it up.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's on the SRD, so I can actually, built into Roll20, so I can look it up. But this is actually really good. So yeah, you can definitely create a very good illusion as you guys move away from where the camp is, right? About how far off?
Well, while we're all it would be over the camp area just to kind of give us an extra layer of cover. It's just to hide our whole location, any of the tracks that we have made and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think 15 feet is actually big enough to hide the entire camp.
Okay.
I think it's good enough for you guys to huddle together. Maybe in the trees
and
nearby or anything like that. But that was my question: was how far away from the camp are you actually doing that?
Let's move like about 100 feet away from the camp.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds
Fair
good.
enough.
We could do that. Have enough time.
All right. So I'm gonna then say that that your illusion's very good because the tower on the cloud actually sort of passes over your destination, your current hiding spot, and actually stops somewhere over your camp. And when it does that, you actually notice that some of the cloud underneath the tower itself starts to form a spiraling staircase.
Oh.
Ooh.
Is anybody doing
Interesting.
anything while this happens?
I just
Putting
wanna-
on my robe and wizard hat.
Currently, the weather outside is kind of cloudy. It's a little bit cold and brisk this morning,
So
and it's a little drizzly.
is
Go
the
ahead.
spiral staircase like dropping down towards us?
It's dropping down over your camp, so not toward you because you're 100 feet away.
Oh, to the fake camp.
It seems like a terrible idea, but we could go inside.
No.
They're probably going to send scouts down. See how long we've left the camp.
Maybe we should keep moving.
Well, as you're debating what to do next, you actually see that the stairs that the staircase is forming are actually very large. They actually look like they're probably about 2 feet, maybe even 3 feet a stair. And then at the very top where the stairs start underneath the cloud, you actually begin to see somebody coming out of it. When I say somebody, it actually looks like someone very large, like easily over 20 feet tall, wearing sandals, a deep blue robe adorned with stars, and kind of like silvery grayish skin.
Guys, I could be wrong here, but I think this might be a giant.
It is very clearly a giant.
But most importantly, what kind of giant? It's not cloud giant.
You notice that he's holding a very gnarled staff that is sized for him. So it is 20 feet tall, just like he is. It perhaps was made from some sort of, birch or other white tree. But it's very fancy looking. In other words, like it's adorned with a big black, not black, a big, probably diamond-shaped crystal at the top. And he's kind of using it to help him walk. And he's slowly making his way down the steps. And he appears very thin, but tall. Like I said, grayish hair and skin. He's bald on the top of his head, and he's got like a long, wispy beard that probably comes down to like the middle of his chest. And then, like I said, what he's wearing is a deep blue, almost purplish robe adorned with golden stars. And you almost get the impression that his head is like bobbing from side to side, as if he's... I guess the best way to describe it is if he's humming to himself. But considering that you're so far away from him right now, you don't actually hear anything.
Can just like on his body language and stuff, could I maybe do an insight check and see if I can guess if he looks like he's threatening to us or if he's just like pulled over
Sure.
to like pee.
I
in
was
the
about to ask that
bush.
same thing.
That reminds me, I need to actually get new stats from you guys. So thank you for reminding me. What I do is I actually keep track of everybody's perception and insight,
Okay.
Eric. So let me record all that information because sometimes I don't actually need you to roll. I can just use your passive stat, and that might be good enough to reveal information.
Cool.
So give me 1 second to write everybody's name down because I do this by hand.
Yeah, no problem.
Also, question: did we get a full rest? I guess.
Yes, you did.
Okay. I'll put everything back up.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
the
recovered all your
Spell
spells
slots
and
and
hit points
Health?
and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yes.
Yay.
All right. So
Hooray.
first up on the list in terms of perception is Kareem.
So what does that mean?
What's your perception score?
Oh, my perception score. Got it. My passive or
Passive.
You can give me your
Perception.
regular. I'll just add 10 for the passive.
it's I'm not sure what you're asking.
So what's your bonus to your perception?
2 and then just
My-
add 10.
I have a proficiency bonus of 2.
What's the
It's
total?
I don't know, man. It's wisdom, right? So
Plus 3.
that's
So 13, I think.
Oh, you
It's
drinking
12?
early tonight?
Well,
So I'm gonna say it's 12.
What is the plus?
What is
Does it
the
say
plus?
+2,
Plus
+3,
one?
+4?
It's plus 1.
Yours is plus 3. It says plus 3.
But plus
that
3
means,
because
I know
that
it.
means
Oh,
that your
wait.
passive perception is a 13. Okay, good.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
is- So is your insight, it looks like.
Okay. Looks
Yeah, you're not. All right. Are you? Yeah, it looks like your insight as well. All right, good. So Zorana, what's your passive perception and passive insight?
My perception is 12, insight is also 12.
All right. And Zinfel, I have 16 and 12 for you. Is that right?
Correct.
So you didn't change either. So it looks like so far nobody's changed. What is Thornbur's?
Perception is 12 and insight is 14.
So I'm going to say that Kareem and Thornburg, you can tell that this guy does not seem, based on his body language, he seems definitely more curious and not threatening in the least.
But he definitely notices us as well.
Well, he's noticed your camp. He doesn't actually notice you guys because you're 100 feet away under the cover of an illusion, which automatically succeeded. So in other words, despite the bad stealth rolls that some of you did have, you're fine. That was the benefit of the illusion spell, but he may have seen the fire from, as you realize now, from the distance last night, which might be part of the reason why he directed his tower toward your camp.
From my previous knowledge of the cloud giants, does he seem like a cloud giant to me?
You've never seen one. And cloud giants are. Well, you know what? Why don't you just make a nature check?
Nature. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay, so you're pretty sure that he is a cloud giant.
Okay.
What you also know about cloud giants is that pretty much some are evil, some are good. They usually go one way or the other. But some have magic and some don't. Some prefer to be warriors as well.
They're a diverse bunch of giants.
They are. They're also, in terms of the order of giants, they are second in line, just after storm giants.
Okay.
I whisper to the others. He doesn't seem that bad. Maybe we should talk to him?
If he realizes it was an illusion, maybe he'll get mad?
Why would they get mad at us?
He doesn't. He doesn't seem threatening now, but once we reveal it, he's just looking at an empty camp. Once we reveal ourselves, who knows?
What he might do?
I mean,
What
he
am
could
I
always
doing?
run. I don't know.
Let's see what he does with the camp. Maybe he'll
Yes, I
call
guess we'll
out for
watch.
someone.
All right. So he continues to go down the spiral staircase, and he's nearly at the bottom as you guys watch him. And he seems to be like humming to himself. You can actually hear him from this distance, although it's pretty faint. It seems to be some sort of upbeat kind of jingle. And he's kind of like bobbing his head from side to side, to the music that exists in his head.
Does he do any dance moves?
No, not really. But he's using the bottom of his staff to kind of, examine the earth and poke his staff into the fire, and then he kind of like puts his head up and he looks around from left to right and behind him, like he's scanning the area for where you guys may have gone.
Okay.
So, if I understand correctly, the silent image is a 15-foot cube all around you, correct? So you kind of just look like you're sitting in a giant bush?
Yep.
Right? Or trees and stuff like that? Okay. So his eyes go right over your illusion. But you are approaching the end of your concentration, because your concentration only lasts 10 minutes.
Yes. I'll prepare.
I take a rock.
Cast
and
it
is there-
again.
Don't throw
Goes
something
past 10
at
minutes,
him.
like at the 10-minute mark, I will cast it again.
Is there a rock on the ground?
Don't throw a rock at him.
Is there a rock?
Yeah. There are rocks, there are large twigs and other stuff. But you do know that. Do you let them know that your spell is about to expire, Zinfel? And that you're going to recast it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well-
I can recast the illusion. I'm almost done. Its duration is almost up, but I can cast it again if we want to stay hidden.
He's looking right at us. He might be able to see right through it.
You notice that his nostrils flare and he's sniffing the air. And that's when you remember that cloud giants, Zorana, have a very good sense of smell.
Of course they do.
Maybe we should
I
give up
wouldn't
this.
waste
I
your energy.
take the rock. Wait, I take the rock. Okay.
Throw a rock.
And then he pulls out a very, very large book. I mean, easily 3 feet tall, which is large to you guys, but just kind of normal size to him. He pulls it out of like a sack on his side, and he starts flipping to some page in the beginning of the book. What you could tell, the book is adorned the same way his robe is. It's purple with golden stars as well.
I chuck the rock past him.
What are you doing?
So you're 100 feet away, and you want to throw a rock past him. Is that correct?
As far as I can to some other land to see if make rustling or
Make a
something.
strength check.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you need to make a strength check, man.
Okay, let's see.
And the rock is maybe about the size of your fist, so it's a good, nice, heavy rock.
Probably like plop 20 feet
So the
away.
weight. Okay, good. You did it right. Actually,
Got
that's
it.
very good. A 15 is very good. You are able to take a rock and you just throw it out of the illusion all the way past him. And
And as I do that, I wave my arm over him.
well, he can't
Yeah.
see you right now because you're sitting
I
in the
know.
midst of an illusion.
And then I tell the others, I've seen this before.
So he doesn't notice you throw the rock. He doesn't notice the rock because he's looking at a book right now. He doesn't even notice the rock sail right past him. But he does hear the rock. And you see that he kind of looks up for a moment and he looks like where the rock landed. And then he just goes back to reading his book.
Damn it. So close.
And as you could tell while he's reading, he's actually putting his finger on the page, and he stops humming at this point, and he starts chanting from the book.
He's casting a ritual.
Yes, exactly, Zinfel.
We
We're all
should
gonna
move.
die.
I don't think we're all gonna die.
Protecting our presence.
So at this point, your spell's about to expire. Are you casting it again?
I think it's time to move.
We could move right before it expires.
I
Grab
grab my
another rock.
Smack the rock out of his hand.
Are you trying to communicate with him? Why are you throwing rocks?
Zinfo, you can make a Arcana check if you're proficient. Actually, you don't need to if you're not proficient because you can cast spells. But you can make an Arcana check.
Again.
I'm going to say that Thornburg, you can as well because except for you, it would be religion.
Okay. Sounds good.
15 Arcana.
All right, both of you guys realize that he is casting a detect magic, and he's going to be done with it very soon because it only takes 1 minute to cast it as a ritual.
All right. He's about to find us. We might as well approach him.
I feel like we should approach him. I mean, he doesn't seem unfriendly, and if we decked out running now, he'd hear us, I'm sure, and be able to reach us in 3 steps.
Yeah, I imagine a giant can catch us pretty quick.
If
Let
he
us,
wanted to.
Let us reason with him.
2.
All right.
All right, so
Thornburg begins to walk forward.
all right,
towards
you
the
walk
giant.
forward just as the silent image drops, and just as he finishes his detect magic spell, and he finishes casting it. As Thornburg walks forward, and you see he looks up, and a bright smile stretches across his face from ear to ear. And I'm going to show you exactly what he looks like at this point.
I grab more rocks.
And he says in a deep, bellowing, sagacious voice, he says, "Why, hello there!" His voice booms, though, because he's 20 feet tall and, very large, obviously. He's got a very large voice box. He says, "My name is Zephyros, and who might you be?"
My name is Thornburg Brokenwit.
"Ah, well met, Thornburg. And I see you have companions as well," as he extends out a finger behind you, pointing at the rest of the party. "No need to hide. I can assure you I'm quite friendly."
Okay, I drop my rocks.
I apologize for our tentative reaction. We come from Nightstone.
"Oh, no apologies. Nightstone, you say? Ah, yes, I have heard of it. I can assure you some of my brethren have heard of it as well." And
I grab my whip.
he kind of clears his throat for a moment, and then he does something weird. It's kind of like a nervous tick or something. He kind of scratches the top of his ear, and he says something to his left shoulder under his breath.
What?
And then his demeanor completely goes back to the way it was when you first met him. And he says, "Oh, so, Nightstone, yes. I see. Well, the small folk, they've made that place their home, many years now. Many, many years." And he nods.
Yes.
"What are you doing so far from town?"
We were just there.
We,
Yes. And we noticed a bunch of boulders in Nightstone from presumably other cloud giants. I don't want to blame you or anything, I'm sure.
"Oh, no. Those cloud giants, they're not the friendly sort." He says, "But I can show you Zephyros here," and he uses his thumb to point to himself. Quite the opposite. I've always taken myself as a bit of an eccentric, I must say. Always a friend to the small folk. as he waves a finger up and down. Bright smile on his face.
I can kind of
What
tell.
kind of
I
small
do love
folk?
your tower.
Why you're the small folk.
I don't know you.
I don't know you either. Perhaps, did I introduce myself already? I did say my name was Zephyros, right?
That is correct. Nice
Yes,
to meet you.
indeed.
Ah,
I'm still on
So-
guard, just in case.
So Zephyros, if it was not you who attacked Night Deep, who what Night
Nightstone.
Stone? Who was it?
And for what reason? Might have they done such a thing?
oh, that's a long story. Perhaps best shared over a nice cup of tea, perhaps.
Do I still trust this guy?
Does the tea have alcohol in it?
As long as I'm not
No,
swimming
that would
in
ruin the
boiling
tea.
I don't know.
He says
I'm not
it's
sure
dreadfully
about
cold out here, and it is starting to rain. He says, "I was hoping to perhaps have a brief discussion with you. See, when I saw your fire in the distance last night, I couldn't help myself but try to come and introduce myself. Perhaps in order to seek aid. I was hoping that you'd be adventurers and not mere travelers, and by the gods, I was right.
A little bit of both.
So yes, I can offer you some tea if you wish to come up to my tower."
Yes, yes. I want to go to the tower.
I'm actually quite curious about the
Does he-
tower.
Does he still seem trustworthy? Does he?
Yes, so far nothing. He seems a little eccentric, obviously, but aside from that, he doesn't seem to have any ulterior motives, except for what he says about, wanting to seek the aid of the small folk, whatever that means. He does say, "I must insist, however, since Thornburr here was the only person kind enough to offer his name, that I get the names of everyone else in your delightful little party." And then he kind of does that weird tick motion again where he touches the top of his ear and talks to his left shoulder, and then goes back to normal.
My kindest apologies, dear Zephyros. My name is Zorana. This is my dear friend Winter. And these are our companions here. Kareem? Zinfel?
Yes, my name is Karim.
He says, "Oh, I think I recognize your folk. Are you from Mulhorandi?
Maybe.
Did I say that right? Actually, the land is Mulhorand, and the people are Mulhorandi. Is that correct?" Yes.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
he's,
it is.
I think he's lagging.
Oh, okay. Kareem's
Oh,
like,
he's looking it up.
What happened? I don't know. I don't even know what you said.
Is lagging.
he apologized for calling you calling your land Mulhorandi, and then he said, or is that not correct? It should be your land is Mulhorand and the people from there are Mulhorandi. Is that right?
I don't know. Who are you?
I told you, I'm Zephyros.
What is going on? This is weird.
Are you okay, Kareem? Maybe you need to calm down. Put the rocks down.
Yeah. He can obviously be trusted. He likes books.
Yes, I have lots of books up in my tower. He says magic books and history books and art books and pop-up books. Books of all varieties and shapes and languages. He says, you're welcome to come and read any of them, although I must say they are quite large.
Makes it all the
I'll
more
manage. I
fun.
have a crowbar.
Very well. Well, I trust that your camp is nearly ready to be put away. Is that right? Did I use the right words there? Put away. Is that
Yes,
how you say it?
That'll work.
We can put it
Not how
away.
I see it.
Well, I see some juniper berries over there. I'm going to take a bush or two, and in the meantime, I'll give you time to put away your camp. And he goes and strolls happily over to a few bushes of juniper berries as he literally takes a hand and
Grabs
plucks a
it
whole
and
bush
tie
out of the
it.
ground.
Be some
What's
nice
up?
tea.
We'll start walking over and packing up camp.
Yeah, put the tents away.
And
Yeah.
Under my breath, I'll kind of whisper to Zorana, who comes and helps with the tents, and I'll say, should we trust this guy? He seems a little crazy.
I trust no one.
Does a little bit, but I mean, he's not assuming any direct harm.
That tick thing makes me very uncomfortable.
What I'm worried about is that we get on this guy's flying tower, and we don't have a way to get down if we need to escape.
That's
We're
true.
we're prisoners.
No, we just jump.
And
You can always escape by jumping.
I think we would die. I'm not sure if you've heard of this concept. It's Mohrand talks about it a lot. It's called gravity. Okay, so what happens is things fall and they die. That sounds like a terrible idea.
She just laughed at you. There's this thing called magic. You fall and you float.
You have enough magic to keep us all alive? I don't know.
Well, maybe not you, but I got enough for the rest of you.
I can handle myself.
It's only 1,000-foot fall.
Now I really don't want to go on it.
In the meantime, Zephyros is taking the bush of juniper berries. He opens up his sack and he's shaking it vigorously so all the berries fall into the sack.
Zinfeld, so do you do have some spell to help with this?
Yes, we can jump successfully if we need to.
well,
Okay.
we could try and convince him. Well, he did say it is going to rain soon. Maybe he doesn't really
Yeah.
want to have a chat down here.
I think if we want to talk to him, we should go up because he'll be more, friendly that way. If we
Except
should
his
be
terms.
courteous and accept his invitation. But I'm just nervous. We might have to escape. So I'm glad Zinfeld has something for us if the need arises.
Agreed. I wouldn't want to oppose him or disappoint him in some way. He might even be a great ally.
He could be, yes. All right. So during this conversation, we've kind of finished up packing.
Yep, that's right.
So
And he says, "These berries are going to make a most excellent tea. I see that you're all finished."
yep.
Ready to hit the library.
Good,
Ready.
good. All right. Come, follow me. I'll do something about this weather as well. Don't want to get hit with any lightning bolts while we're up there.
And do we have to climb over these 3-foot steps all the way up?
Oh, I'll fix that. And he taps his staff on the cloud staircase, and rather than 3-foot, high steps, they change to about 8-inch steps, so that they're much easier for you to climb.
Ah,
And
appreciate it.
and he just takes multiple steps at a time.
It's like Mary Poppins.
Who's
Who's
this
Mary Poppins?
Never read about her?
No, I've not read about them.
You
But
illiterate.
I'm from somewhere else, so I don't know.
So as he goes up the steps, he starts humming a little tune to himself again, bobbing his head left and right to the sound of the music in his head, and he's leading the way. You notice that as you begin to climb the steps, the clouds actually start retreating behind you, the steps themselves. And soon enough, you find yourself, up very high at an almost dizzying height, reaching the bottom of the tower. And I'm going to change you to a different map.
Ooh, maps.
Don't look down.
It's actually a really cool tower.
Give me a moment.
Kareem is uncomfortable with these heights.
Maybe we can conquer this place.
Wait, I think I left the cart down there. I'm not taking that up steps.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Hopefully-
So, what are you doing about the cart?
Let's ask the giant for help.
Yeah, let's ask him to carry it.
Probably.
Right,
Oh,
you can carry that.
sure, I can do
Could
that.
you take this for us? Thank you, sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar.
He actually, let's
Second
see what he does about that. He might actually be able to do something even better.
Alright.
He's gonna summon donkeys.
Flying donkeys.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, he's just gonna take the cart and he's gonna hold it in his left hand while he's going up the stairs with the staff in his right.
We're basically like being led into like a van by like some guy who's like offering us candy.
Yeah. Oh, I was feeling that way as well.
I mean, if it means we don't die immediately.
All right. I think I have everybody on the map. I need to shrink you guys again, though. I think you're very large at the moment.
Maybe he converts us into giants to better, walk around his giant tower.
Ah, yes. These squares are very large. Okay, so I'll have to fix the squares, so don't actually worry about it too much right now, because you guys are currently all like 10 feet tall. But give me a second to move you to that map. All right, good. He says, "Oh, welcome to the Tower of Zephyros.
Ooh,
I'll go ahead and get started on a tea.
much appreciated.
In the meantime, make yourselves at home. I'm sorry I don't have many seats for you to sit, but you're welcome to use this level as a camp if you wish. In the meantime, is there any place that you are that you want to go? I can direct the tower to travel anywhere. It flies over land quite easily, I must say."
We were on our way to Waterdeep, but perhaps we don't need to go there anymore.
We could go
This
straight
flying,
to
yeah,
Golden Fields.
this flying tower is way better than a donkey.
Donkey that
Yes.
was
Indeed. Golden Fields, oh, that's so close. We'll be there within hours.
Do you live here alone?
I do, in fact. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I have a few griffins upstairs.
Ah.
Let me.
They're kind of like what humans, humans who would keep cats. Well, I keep griffins.
I want to meet griffins.
Let me ask you, Zephyros, good man. Where
Actually,
were
he's a
you?
giant.
Where were you
This is
headed?
true. Well, I must confess I was not entirely truthful with you. I actually, I've been in communion with the beings of the outer planes.
Oh.
Yes.
What is that? Outer planes.
Well, I'm quite an accomplished spellcaster for my kind, and I have powerful magic at my disposal. And I must tell you, what's been going on within our giant's ordering has been very disconcerting to me lately. And I've been seeking help. I've always been more fond of the small folk rather than my kind. And that's why I've sought some aid. As I said, I've contacted the Outer Planes multiple times and received many different messages, but I think I've finally stumbled upon some help. And as luck would have it, perhaps even fate, I think it's no coincidence that I managed to find your camp, because you are the very people whose faces I have seen in my visions.
Oh.
Was there two
You
extra
told me their
faces?
names. I do recall. Yes, maybe.
It's blurry, right?
They're fuzzy to me right now. I'm not. I can't recall their faces. It seems as if I only recognize them when they tell me their names, which is why I asked you for all of yours.
I see. Dude,
I feel it's fake
So
that
what-
you've seen this.
what exactly did you see? What did you?
Yes. Let me explain. I have, as I said, there's been a change among our giants. What we call the ordering has been shattered. The ordering is the hierarchy by which giants have been commanded to. Oh, this is very difficult to explain to the small folk. Let's just say that Aman, the All-Father, the god of the giants themselves, has decreed that there's a certain order to our hierarchy. Storm giants, they come first, and they are the natural-born leaders of our kind. And then us cloud giants, we're next. And then it goes down from there to fire and frost, stone and hill. Well, that has all been shattered and gone away with. Kablooey! It's completely destroyed. Something has happened, and I'm not exactly sure what. But I can say that from their position of power that they used to rule before, the storm giants are no longer at the top. It seems as if everybody now is vying for control, as if all the rules have been broken.
Hmm.
Of course, this has caused an absolute mess among our kind. Not all of us are evil, as I told you. Especially the ones at the top, like the storm giants, and most, or perhaps half of my kind, are quite good-natured. He says, but the others, oh no, the others, they can be evil and dastardly. And I'm afraid that this is going to spell lots of trouble for the Sword Coast and its small folk denizens in the future.
Was there something
That is interesting.
specific that happened between the storm giants that caused this to start?
Oh, I don't really know. That's a very good question. I've been trying to find the answer to that very question, but I have not had very much luck.
Who would throw stones? Which giants would do that?
The cloud giants.
The cloud?
Yes.
I did tell you.
Yes. I must confess, I am aware of some giants that make their home in a cloud castle, and have come to Nightstone to take what's known as an Ostorian relic. He says it's what us giants call the old kingdom. Back before the small folk started to populate the Sword Coast, we had an ancient and glorious kingdom called Ostoria. Well, that black as pitch stone that existed within the center of the village, the very thing that you call the Nightstone, well, that was a powerful relic of our kind in times ancient and long past. It seems as if whatever cloud giants came there to take it have done so without caring who they might upset. And I'm so sorry if you had any friends who perished in that attack. But I can assure you I had nothing to do with it. He laughs awkwardly.
Oh no, we believe you, and that does explain why this happened to Nightstone now, and what was taken from the middle of the town for sure. Would it be
Why
something
us?
we would want to take back?
What power does the relic have?
Oh, that I don't know. They might not have any power whatsoever. All I know is that those giants wanted it, and they decided to take it. And who's to stop them? Not me. No, no, no. I am not that kind of person.
That's understandable.
What?
I try to keep my head down and not not meddle too much in the affairs of other giants. Not really my business. I'm more akin to you people, the small folk themselves. I feel better and safer around you.
I appreciate
Why
that.
us, Zephoros?
I don't know. Perhaps the gods have taken an interest in you. Perhaps it's coincidence or fate or whatever words you want to come up with. He just shrugs. Whatever it is, the outer planes say that you're to help, and that is it.
The will of whomever it may be.
Indeed. Now that tea. In the meantime, get settled. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm sure that you'll like to look around. And
Indeed.
I'm just going to step over here, and he steps to the large. He steps under a large hole in the ceiling, and then he just levitates up.
Oh,
Wait, how far up? Like
It's
we
a
can't see him anymore?
It's a 300 to 400 foot tower.
Oh, he levitates pretty high up to the next level of the floor, which is about
Got
100
it.
feet up. When he gets to that level, he kind of steps off and he starts rummaging around in that room.
I guess I want to look around the room and see what's here.
Sure. So,
Should
from
I-
what you could tell, although the tower rests atop a cloud, first you could tell that the floor is. It actually is made of cloud itself, just kind of shaped to look like stone, but it's very, very solid. You also see that there is a transparent blue curtain directly to your south that flaps in the breeze, and despite it looks like it's open to the air outside, it's actually quite warm in here. There's several braziers situated around the room that give off a lot of warmth. And then you also notice that there's a giant-sized wooden table and a stone chair. And there seem to be, although the table's high above your head, there seems to be a lot of books atop the table and other objects. And then you also see that there's two large statues in the room. From what you could tell, they look like very solemn-looking stone giants as well.
Hmm.
Not stone giants, cloud giants, but made of stone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to see how I feel like, or if I feel like I'm really small if I sit in this chair.
Well, just to simply climb up to the chair is actually because the
Very
place where
difficult.
you would sit is actually above your head.
Okay.
It's about 7 feet off the ground, so you can jump to it and climb up to it if you really wanted to sit in it.
I really want to sit in it.
Well, as you do so, you can't even see above the table like it is as you're sitting on it. The table's just so high that your eyes barely reach the level. They're not even high enough to reach the level.
Okay.
And then, like I said, the room itself is is 100 feet high.
Oh.
And there's a hole
Whoa.
directly in the ceiling that goes up to the second floor. And whatever magic he used to be able to float up to the second floor doesn't seem to work for you. For anybody who stands in the spot that he was standing.
Hmm.
Hey, Zinfeld, there's books and stuff on the table. We could find a ladder.
I pull out my grappling hook and start my way up onto the table to peruse the giant books.
Oh, we're back to normal size.
Yes, I've shrunk you.
I may have shrunk the kids.
Oh, and he did put down the cart as well, which I should probably copy over from the player token sheet. So just give me a second.
Winter is sniffing around excitedly and trying to bounce on the cloud floor.
There's a
It doesn't
giant
work.
cart.
Right, there you go.
Still pretty giant of a cart. That's okay.
Perfect.
That's huge.
Is it supposed to be that big? I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I made a mistake. You see these two things? These are not statues.
They're not?
I was like,
Oh, they're not?
No, they look like statues from above, but actually, what they are chandeliers, and they shed light.
Well,
Ah,
okay.
Yeah, they seem to be chandeliers of continual flame.
Huh. They look like statues.
So he is anybody doing anything while he's away? Aside from
I'm trying to get onto the
climbing up
table.
on the chair. Well, the table's
And
10 feet off the ground, like the top of the
Definitely
table.
closest book. Is the closest book on the table?
Oh yeah, you can see it. Like some of the books are kind of like hanging off the edge, so like you can
Alright.
see like the bottom of the book.
I have a grappling hook and rope, so I'm going to climb up.
Oh, so like you hook it onto the table and then climb up to it.
Yep.
All right, sure. Go ahead and make me an athletics check.
10.
All right, that's good enough because it's not that hard of a climb. So you do realize, though, that when you hook your grappling hook into the table, you probably just put a nick, like a deep nick, into his table
Uh-oh.
with your grappling hook. Who cares?
yeah, Lars didn't know this.
He has magic, right?
But you're able to climb up, and now you're standing on top of the table, and you see that it's like I said, littered with books.
All right.
I grab
Most
on
have
his rope.
titles or
Yeah, most of
interesting-
them seem to be written in giant. Can you read giant?
Yes.
All right. So one of the books says the flora and fauna of the Sword Coast.
Woo!
One of the books that's actually currently opened is Tales of Astoria: The History of the Giants.
Oh. I'll
Can
try
I
and
grab
see
on
what he
his
was
rope?
reading.
Can I grab on his rope and try to climb up too?
Yeah, sure. Athletics check.
Yeah, I put it in there.
I see that. Yeah, so you make it up there too.
Okay, and I'm gonna try to jump from the table onto the chair.
You also notice that there's a bunch of other stuff here too. Like you see that there's a couple of mugs, some used quill pens, a huge bottle of ink that's probably the size of, a barrel. You're able to jump onto the chair, no problem, Kareem. You don't need a check for that.
Sit down.
What's Thornburn and Zorano doing?
I was watching them do whatever they're doing at the table. I'm kind of contemplating everything Zephyros has said, getting some weird fate feeling and whatnot, and kind of
Thornbur.
enjoying
Oh, sorry.
enjoying the tower. 'cause it's pretty cool in here.
All right, and Thornburg.
And Thornburg was also just kind of taking in the sights a little, and then poked his head out of through the curtain here, just to see what was in the next room.
Oh, sure, sure. So when you poke your head through the curtain, you actually you can feel like the air from outside. It's very brisk and windy outside.
Mhm.
But it actually, you notice that the clouds seem to slowly be breaking up, and the sunlight starts to shine through. And also, from what you could tell by the landscape below, that you can see in the very far distance, you seem to be moving. Are you skilled in nature or survival?
No.
No?
Neither.
Right. Well, it's hard to tell what
Consider
direction you're moving in.
Yeah. I'll trust he's taking us to the right place.
Yeah, you can make a check if you like.
Yeah, I'll make a nature check. What?
Ooh.
Another
Natural
20.
20.
Jesus.
Took the minus
At least you're
one.
not on me this time.
I'm just joking. Yeah, so you can tell that you're actually headed in like a northeastern direction.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds about right.
You can actually see, like, far in the distance, the Sword Coast itself and the sea out there. But due to the fact that you're moving away from it, that's how you're able to judge that you're heading northeast.
Great. All right.
All right. So when you guys are all floating around like that, Zephyros comes back down as he floats gently back down to the lower floor. You notice that he's got like a bowl in his hand, and then what looks like a tray and a tea set that he puts down right on top of the table. And then he says, "Oh my! You've stuck a grappling hook into my table." And he like plucks it out with two giant fingers. Oh, you didn't need to do that. And then he like takes his tongue on his finger and he starts rubbing the little nick that you created. Oh, I'll have to fix that.
Yikes.
It's okay. He pats Zinfel on the head gently. I see
fall
you're
over.
already enjoying my books.
No. History of Astoria, flora and fauna of the north.
Yes, I have many others. He says, feel free to take a look. Just try not to damage anything, please. In the meantime, let me go ahead and get started on your tea. And where did you say you were going? Luskin?
No.
Goldenfield. Goldenfield.
No. Yeah, Golden Fields is the way.
Oh, Golden Fields. Are you sure?
Yes, we're very sure.
Just keep heading northeast. We'll be there in no time.
You
Very
never
well.
mentioned
Fair
Luskin.
enough. Fair enough. So I'm sure you must have many, many questions for me. Does anyone take any sugar?
No.
Yes.
I'll take it. No sugar.
He pulls out
Two
a
lumps.
giant sugar cube, about the size of relics. He drops it onto the table.
I'll scrape off a little bit of it.
My
Dagger
apologies, but I don't really have any human-sized cups, so I hope you have something to drink this tea with.
Pull out my mess kit. Cup.
Take a little scoop.
He starts brewing the tea onto one of the flaming braziers that are situated around the room. I see you're enjoying my chair, Kareem.
Wait, it's very, very large. Is this made out of clouds? I'm like feeling around on it.
No. The chair is solid stone. The floor is made of clouds.
Ah,
Giant
interesting.
magic.
Giant magic. I've heard of magic before. I was just told a few minutes ago.
We don't have magic and mole around.
Actually, they didn't, but that's a whole other story.
Well. Well, it should take us not too long to get to Golden Fields. Let's see, from our current position, I would say about 2 days. The Cloud Tower doesn't travel very far, but it is a straight line. What I meant to say is that it doesn't travel very fast. And then he flicks the top of his ear again and talks to his left shoulder, mumbling under his breath.
What is that thing that you do? Where you talk to your left?
What? What thing? And he looks over at his left side. Well, I don't talk to my left. I'm talking to you right now.
But you rub your ear and you
touched
talk
your-
to your left.
I did?
Could I do like
Yes.
Could I
He
do
kind of
a-
like plays with the wispy hair on the side of his head. I'm not really sure I know what you're talking about. I never
you
noticed
being
it before. And the people with insights of 13 and 14, which is Kareem and Thornburg, you can tell he seems genuinely confused when confronted with his tick.
Could I do like a medicine check to see if like he's crazy?
No, you don't need a medicine check for that. You could kind of tell something's not right with him.
Okay.
Does
Like maybe
And-
too many castings addled at his brain or something.
I don't want a medic game.
Makes
Well,
sense.
Zephyros, tell me, what is your stake in all this? You expressed regret at your brethren attacking Nightstone. Do you plan to take action against them? We could dearly use your help.
And you did say you saw us in a vision. What do you feel we need to do?
Oh, well, when you say help and, if you could provide assistance, or when you talk about the vision, he kind of gets like a very worried look on his face and his eyes become downcast and he says, well, to be completely forthright, I can't take up arms against my brethren. I've taken a vow not to. In fact, I'm quite the pacifist. I can help you get to wherever it is you're going and guide you, but I must seek other answers. He says, I know I have a part to play in all this as well, but my next destination was going to be the Moonshay Isles to see if I can uncover any information from there as well. All I can say is it'd be very much appreciated if you take me upon your quest. You take it upon yourselves to do the quest that I suggested, which is to find out what has happened to cause the ordning in the first place, and to help anyone you see along the way in the event that they've been molested by other giant kind.
My friend, what have you had contact with other giants recently?
No, I must unfortunately say I haven't.
What about other folk?
Except
what about
one.
anyone? One.
I did spot a giant making his way around, not too far from Nightstone. From what I could tell, he appeared to be a frost giant. I only could say that because his helm bared a striking resemblance to, one of those helms that they wear up in Icewind Dale with the horns. And he had a long white beard, and he carried quite a large great axe. Bluish skin like ice.
I did find some frost giant tracks over by Nightstone where we were.
That must be the same giant that I spotted. But I think that he spotted me first, and he hid quite well from me. But regardless, I did not want to reach out to him. Frost giants tend to be evil.
What about people? Have you had contact with other small folk like us?
Oh no, I leave them well enough alone.
So you've been alone here for how long?
His eyes kind of like go stare off in the distance for a moment, and they get really wide. To tell you the truth, I'm not really sure. It's been many years.
Okay.
Just me and my griffins, wandering, looking around, collecting knowledge. You can kind of say I'm a bit of a loner.
Okay. So that tick must be natural
he gives
then.
a great big sigh when he says that. And then tries to change the subject, and he says, the tea is ready. And with that, he takes a big ladle, and he says, I haven't really thought this through, have I?
I say, bring it here, and I dip my cup into it and take a scoop.
I'll do the same.
He doesn't seem to be very dexterous, though, because as he like kind of tips it down, it's like sloshing everywhere, and like big splashes of tea like all over his floor. Which you notice that like I said, the floor is made of cloud stuff, and it just like absorbs right through it.
I kind of try and dodge the buckets of scalding hot tea that are flying around.
He says, wait, I have a better idea. After you manage to dip your teacup into it, or your cup, your mess cup, he takes one of the cups off of the table where Zorana's like flipping through very large pages.
Zinfil.
I'm sorry, Zinfel is, and he cleans it out and actually pours a ladle full of tea into it, and then sets that cup onto the floor.
That works.
Good idea.
So the cup itself is like, maybe 2 feet tall, so you can easily dip your mess cup into that. And actually, he said, "Did anyone else want any sugar?"
No, I'm okay.
I'm gonna eat no sugar.
I'm fine.
So, once everyone has all their cups, I'll raise mine, and I'll say, "To new friends."
Indeed.
Yeah.
I haven't had many friends my whole life, so it's nice to get to know more people. I do love you, Winter, but we do need people in our lives.
Yes, people. Books, to new books.
By the way, now that we're all friends and stuff, do we want to call ourselves something now? Have we earned it?
Sugar cubes! Zephyros suddenly says. I seem to be out of sugar cubes.
Sugar cubes! Best name ever.
And he goes to the center of the room and floats up to the top again.
Well,
Oh
friends?
God. Well, I don't know.
Sugar cubes
I guess we could
isn't
always
a
win.
terrible idea.
No, I don't think we should actually. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we'll wait.
We'll figure it out.
We haven't done. I haven't done anything yet with you, so I don't know what to name us. But I
We haven't done anything yet. He just said we have a destiny together. Come on, man.
It's true.
That is true.
But what is it? We need to. Are we to kill these giants? Are we to?
Well, first we have to do what they said, which is uncover the reason why their ordering was shattered, as he put it. There's a relic somewhere we have to find. There's all these people we have to talk to. There's Claire who we have to find. There's so many things to do.
So we are the people who talk to people. That's an excellent name.
Ah, yes, the middlemen.
Yes. Zephyros's errand runners.
The middleman.
Perfect.
Not the cloud jumpers. Let's hope we don't do that.
The cloud jumper. Is that a thing? What is it?
Jumping off clouds.
We can make it a thing.
You know what I'd really like? I'd really like to see the rest of this tower.
That is true.
That I do agree with.
I go stand in the circle and I focus really hard.
You tired a little?
Just a little. Maybe let me roll a Constitution saving throw.
I want you to make me an intelligence check.
Oh Lord.
My God!
I had a counteract.
Sure,
Oh,
I rolled a 2. It's a -1.
Yeah.
but it still looks glorious.
Oh yeah.
You actually end up just getting a headache from concentrating so hard.
I
But
realized.
for a second there, you felt like you could actually do it. Like if you were to concentrate and focus your mind enough, you would actually be able to activate the magic as well.
Hmm.
I realized I've been focusing too hard and I haven't taken a breath. And so I go,
What are you doing over there, Thornburg?
damn. I wanted to see it.
We could go upstairs
Are,
and
are you trying to use it? I jump off of the chair.
I'll kind of imagine myself upstairs. See if that does it.
Sure. You can make an intelligence check, Zorana. And then you said Kareem, you were trying as well?
Oh wait.
Yeah,
Not
uh,
a save. Not a save. Check.
That's probably the same.
Probably.
Yeah, same modifier. So yeah, the 13. The 13 is actually good enough, and you find yourself starting to rise off of the ground 20 feet.
Ah, wee.
Oh my God!
And
I
then
see
the
concentration. I see them go up and I'm like, what the fuck? Come on.
and the Kareem, the same thing starts happening to you as well.
Oh, this is weird. I don't know if I like this.
Don't worry, Thornburg. It'll be very funny when they fall.
Can I stop it, or is it just happening?
It's just happening, although it's happening at a very slow rate, so that way you're only traveling at about 20 feet per round.
Okay.
So just give me a second here.
Can I stop it immediately?
You can attempt to stop it by making another intelligence check.
Oh God!
Risky.
But I assume that you want to stop it where? How high up do you want to stop it?
Immediately, like as I start getting the feeling and start going up.
Okay, so you're already 20 feet off the ground, so when you stop it, you're going to drop 20 feet.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to take some damage from that as you land on the ground. But you know what? I'll give you an acrobatics check to reduce it
Okay.
by 10 feet.
Oh God, I'm actually gonna take a lot of damage.
Falling 20 feet.
Yeah, he had good damage rolls there.
All right. Well, you're able to only take six damage.
Ow! Where do I land? On my ass or?
Yeah, you land on your
told
ass,
you it'd
on
be
your
funny.
tailbone. Meanwhile, however, Zorana keeps going up, right?
Yep.
You go, girl.
And I'd like to stop at the second floor. Winter
Sure.
is kind of like snapping at me, like, "Oh, where are you going?"
Yeah, he is actually. He's like huffing, he's doing like that horse neighing type of thing, and he's like looking up with his big antlered head. And when you get up to the second floor, you actually feel yourself like kind of being drawn to the edge of the hole
Mhm.
that exists within the ceiling, and then you end up on the second floor where Zephyros, with his back to you, is kind of digging in a nearby chest. He's kind of kneeling on the ground. A chest in front of him is open, and he's rummaging through it, and he's like humming to himself, bobbing his head left to right. In this room as well is a ginormous bed,
Ooh.
where the sheets are all like unmade.
Mhm.
You see several windows. You also notice that there is a giant orb in this room. So first, you see that the room is 80 feet high. There are several slender windows set with panes of stained glass, a giant-sized bed, an enormous chest that he's currently looking through. And then you also see that there are stone shelves everywhere that protrude at heights of 20 feet, 40 feet, and 60 feet that are also littered with a number of books. Okay? And then 10 feet above the floor, you actually see a large glowing orb that's about 7 feet in diameter that looks like it's made out of polished, very, very shiny silver material. And there's a large rune embossed on its outer surface. And it's floating about 10 feet above the ground, spinning gradually.
Oh, damn. Oh, my apologies, Zephyros.
Zephyros doesn't even notice you for a second because, like, you just, you're so
Floated up
tiny and you just stepped
quietly.
into the room. And he says, and as he raises his head, he clonks his head on the top of the chest and he rubs the back of it and gives out a loud ow. And then he turns around and he says, "Oh my, you figured out how the levitation column works. I see.
I was
Good.
just
You must be
really
very
curious.
smart."
I was just very curious, and oh my, the view is great from up here. I can see
Yes,
everything.
this is my personal bedroom. Welcome.
I feel terrible imposing on it.
Oh, not at all. You did say you wanted to go see those griffins upstairs.
That is true.
Well, you can go to see them now if you wish. They're quite nice. In fact, here you could probably give them some apples. And he goes into the chest and he fetches like a bushel of apples.
Oh,
Probably about like 24 apples in a bag.
I'll
He says,
take
"I haven't
that.
given them apples in quite some time." He says, "But we can go up together if you wish."
Oh yes, maybe. If they see me as a stranger immediately, I might feel better if you're there.
He nods and he says, he extends out his hand for you to step on it, so that way he can just take you up with him.
Okay, I'll step on his hand. And maybe also call down, see if anyone else will want to come up. Hey guys, come up here. You can do it.
"We're going to go see the griffins," he calls down.
Griffins aren't
Griffins?
books.
There's books up here, though.
Books up
Thornburg,
here.
Thornburg immediately steps in and tries to do it again.
All right, go ahead.
Intelligence check.
Yes, that's right. Poor Thornburg. He just
Love
passed out
that.
from exertion. Like, no, I'm just kidding. You don't pass out, but
Like,
you have a much stronger headache now.
I just start rubbing my head.
I'm gonna try one more time, but this time not fall. I'm gonna use inspiration, just because.
All
So I put it on the map, but it's dark, so I can't see it anymore.
It looks great
sure.
outside.
No problem. I actually do see it.
Let's see.
You should look at the tower from the side. It looks quite
Oh, there we go. I'm
marvelous.
glad I used it.
It actually has a hat.
Yes, that's right. So an 18 will succeed, and you are able
Okay.
to slowly start floating up. And a few rounds later, you're up at the top with Zorana. So the
Okay.
three of you, one of you in each of his hands.
Thornburg, at this point, is very grumpy. And he focuses himself and he uses his Radiant Soul ability, and giant celestial wings sprout from his back.
Oh, that's
damn.
right.
And he flies up. And at this point, he's just been like a human, so you've had no idea that he's got these abilities. But all of a sudden, he just like sprouts these wings and he flies up, and he's like fuck this. And he was like trying to keep it secret because he never lets anyone know, but he was like getting so upset that he had to.
All right, very nice. So they're kind of like glowing, right? Glowing angel
Yeah,
wings.
they're like glowing white angel wings.
And it lasts for 10. Yeah,
Yeah, it lasts for 10 minutes, I think.
10 minutes.
I can do it
Is that
once for a
spell?
long rest. It's a racial ability. 'Cause
Oh.
I'm like a divinely touched being,
Interesting.
and so I can do it once per long rest.
Yeah, so
Pretty
this is the ASMR that came out of the new book, The Volo's Guide to Monsters.
Right.
It literally just came out 2 days ago, and because he was making a cleric paladin, I suggested that it might be a really good option for him. So
Yeah, it's a cool race.
because they get the exact stat bonuses.
I have
of
like a
the
spirit.
classes.
You guys don't know any of this, but I got like a spirit guardian who speaks to me and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
Actually,
Wow.
I looked it up one time. They're kind of like the opposite of tieflings.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly correct.
I think I looked it up one time too.
I think we looked
Yeah.
it up together.
All right. Well, the three of you, Thornbur able to fly on his own. He says, "My, that's interesting. I can see now why the gods chose you." And with that, the four of you now go up to the top, where the griffins are making their roost. And what you can see here is on the third floor. You see that it has open archways that are set up into the walls. There's some air that is circling here, but there must be some magic that prevents it from being very, very windy. But you can still feel like a light breeze. So these archways, these black things, are actually like pillars. And in between those are archways where the griffins can fly like in and out of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
like really scary.
So yeah, it's really scary to you guys because these these archways are very open to the sky, and you can, like I said, like I described to Thornbur before, you can see that you're slowly drifting away in a northeast direction, away from the Sword Coast itself, where the Sea of Swords is located. And then in terms of what this floor actually looks like, you see that it's set up like an eyrie. At the moment, all four griffins are present, and there's four large hay nests that they seem to use as their roosts. And Zorana's currently the one with the bag of apples, and when Zephyros gets up to the top, you see that they all come to him, and like four cats, they start rubbing their bodies and their heads against his knees and legs, and he gets down on one knee and he starts petting them very gently and cooing them.
I'm gonna walk up to one of them with the bag of apples and an apple out. Try and feed one of them.
So although they're a bit aloof at first, they sniff the apples, and eventually they seem to warm up to you. Actually, you can make me an animal handling check,
Okay.
but I'll give you advantage because you have apples.
Yeah, apple advantage.
So they definitely warm up to you very well. And soon enough, you've made fast friends with all four of the griffins here. And then he starts telling you their names, which all start with G. And if you're curious, I'll tell you what they are. But
Yeah.
well, one's called Girax, one's called Gyros, one's called Garagos, and the other one is called Gilgamesh.
Hello, my
Impressive griffins you have here.
sweet, sweet griffins. I've always wanted to meet one.
Where did you find them?
Oh, here and there. Sometimes I find eggs that maybe have been abandoned, or some foolhardy adventurers have left them behind, and I raise them on my own. And when they're old enough, eventually they go off, and I just get some more. It's been like this for 2 decades now, probably.
Old enough? Does that mean they're not fully grown? I look around at them.
Oh, some of them have chosen to stay, but most of them, they leave and they go hunt, and they make their homes in various spots of the Sword Coast. He says,
Huh.
These I've had for probably 2 years now.
Cool.
They're quite adorable. I'm just petting them all and feeding them apples.
Yes. Well, you could ride one if you like later. We have some time.
Probably later. I would do that.
Thornbur's kind of just smiling and nodding. Kind of scared to walk up to him, but excited at the magnificent beasts.
Can I ride one?
You did say that.
You could, but you must be very careful. He says griffins are quite tumultuous and curious beasts, but they can also be vicious. Those sharp talons and those beaks can tear apart flesh as easily as a man tears through a sheet of paper. He says, "Do you have any skill with animals?"
Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
Unfortunately, I don't have any saddles for you to use either, so maybe it won't be such a good idea, little Kareem.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I might look into it later.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe one day. Do any of them look like the leader? Is there an alpha among them?
An alpha group.
No, because they're more like cats. So
Okay.
they all seem to get along for the most part. You see that a couple of them start fighting over an apple or two, but they're they're just cats.
Okay. Any of them got like cool scars or anything?
Actually, no, not really. They kind of look all very similar.
Are they all the same colors too?
Like
One of them has a little bit more gray in their feathers, but that's about it.
Okay.
the giant eagle lions.
Trying to differentiate them.
If you want, I'll name them. I'll put the names down.
I did. I write down the names.
They did.
Yeah, I did.
Hey Joe, how close are we to like 10 minutes after? What I'm trying to get at is, are my wings still going? Because I want to go down before they disappear. I'm nervous about figuring out the spell again.
If that's the case, yeah, you would probably have left at this point to go back down.
Okay. All right. Cool. I was like enjoying the griffins, but I'm out of there now. Go back to the bottom.
Sure.
Like, this is cool, but I'm gonna go make sure he's not getting any paper cuts or anything down there.
Yeah. So Zinfel, I mean, there's a lot of information here. You're primarily reading that book on Ostoria?
Yes.
Okay. So it seems like there's so much information here, it's hard to process it all, but what I can give you is a little bit right now. Just give me a second.
Sure.
Let's see what I can offer you.
You kind of see Winter trotting around sadly, making sad noises.
Don't worry. Your mommy left you for a griffin.
Four of them.
But I still love you.
So here's what you learn about Astoria. Blah blah blah. Here, I'm just gonna kind of copy this information, and then you can use what you want from it.
Okay.
This will give you a very good.
Whoa.
It's a huge block of text.
The ordinance.
So
I'm
all
not
of
gonna
this
do that.
is like written in giant, letters. So it takes you some time to like because imagine like you're reading a giant book, right?
Mhm.
And it's written in a language that you don't normally speak or read every day. But you understand it. But the thing is, the letters that you're reading are like a foot tall each, right? So you can imagine that it would take a really long time to try to figure out what like a whole word is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is what you've read so far in the time, in like the hours that you have been here.
Wait, that
I
must
have
be
to
like,
shrink this.
that must be like a 10-foot book.
But feel free to copy this information, and if you want it in a handout, actually, that's what I'll do. What did I call the book before?
You called it
Austria
the
or
history of Astoria.
Astoria. Austria? No.
Australia. The history of
call,
Australia.
I think it was called Giant, the Ordning, and the History of Astoria. I'll put it in everybody's journal because you could probably share that information.
Yes, I would choose right.
And then where I'll sort this is... I'll stick it under Forgotten Realms. How about that?
Nice.
That works.
Are we getting close to our destination?
So, I don't know if you recall me saying this before, but he told you it's going to
hours.
take you 2 days.
2 days.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
2 days to get to Golden Fields?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought he said
So
a
the
couple
tower
hours.
actually doesn't seem to be traveling that fast.
Oh.
Okay.
So although it's traveling essentially at the same speed that you are as if you were going on land, though.
Oh. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
But the benefit to being in the tower is that
It's safe.
you can't get it's safe. You can't get jumped by bandits. You go over land. You don't have to worry about weather.
Thornbur is going to occasionally pop his head out and just make sure we're still going in the right direction.
Yeah, you are. You are.
He had mentioned going to that other place,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want it. I don't want that to
Oh,
happen.
Luskin?
Yeah, I don't want to go to Luskin, so I'm going to keep an eye for that.
Yeah, very true.
Maybe one day. I hear it's beautiful up there. Maybe one day, but not yet.
Eventually, though, he does reveal that, once he drops you off in Golden Fields, that he's got some, other business that he wants to attend to in the Moonshae Isles. So, like, he won't be following you around or anything like that.
Maybe he has magical communication abilities.
That's true.
He is a giant wizard
Yeah,
in a
we should-
giant wizard hat tower.
We should ask him before we part ways, for sure.
If he has any magical communication devices.
Just to make sure Nightstone's still cool.
Probably
Yeah,
something he
it's
developed
been a few
himself.
days, so it'd be nice to see. Make sure that they're not.
Well, yes. I have the ability to cast a message at will. And let's see, what else can I do? I can
You don't
I
have
can also
any,
contact the other planes.
You don't have any iPads or the internet.
Unfortunately, no. I wish I did. I knew what that was.
I might have made that word up.
No, I've heard of this internet thing. It's rad. It makes a lot of beeping noises when you turn it on.
Okay. It sounds very magical.
So maybe once we get to Golden Fields, we can then cast message and check in on Nightstone.
And
Yeah,
maybe-
that's not a bad idea. Actually, message, I don't know if it would reach that far.
Oh yeah, and he might need to know the person anyway, or be able to see the person.
Yeah, it's only got a range of 120 feet.
Ew. Maybe not.
Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work.
Well, fuck.
You need a 70.
Let me look up this contact other plane spell.
Or maybe even a way to contact
Yeah, maybe that would work.
Zephyros again. And we can let him know what we find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there anything special that you want to do over the next 2 days?
Mm,
I guess I could make something with my alchemy kit.
that's true.
That's correct.
What
Yep.
do you guys? What do we want? What do we? I can't make any of the uncommon stuff because I don't have a +3 proficiency bonus. But
Oh yeah, none of us have +3 proficiency bonus quite yet.
what is a alchemist's fire?
Oh, it's right out of the player's handbook. So if you were to click on that little eye at the top right of your screen, and just type
Okay,
in
yeah.
alchemist file.
Cool. I've never seen that one before, but I think definitely maybe potions of healing are always helpful.
Crossfire.
Crossfire.
Sticky fluid ignites when exposed to air.
Crossfire.
You could throw the flask
Oh, wow.
and then
It's like a bomb.
yeah, I guess technically. Bomb.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
On hit, target takes 1d4 fire damage at the start of each of its turns.
Oh, you like catch something on fire.
Pretty much.
That's a pretty useful thing.
Throwing sticky fire liquid.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, I have 2 days, so I can only do 2 of these.
I
I
would.
just want to remind Jay that you have those lockpicks.
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm going to look at those if I can ever pry myself away from books.
It's hard to do, but yeah. So those lockpicks are a little bit special. After about an hour of fiddling with them, unfortunately, you don't have a lock to actually test it with. But you do determine that the lockpicks are a little special.
No. In what way?
I'm gonna show you right now.
You could make healing potions. You can't go wrong with healing potions.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna make 2 healing potions. Might as well.
Yeah. Let's go with
And
that.
I'll give them. Do you,
What?
Zorana?
Yep.
Do you have like a cure wounds spell?
Yeah, I do.
All right, I'm gonna give them to Kareem and Zinfel then.
Yeah, they could probably have better immediate use.
So
of it,
each of you get a potion of healing,
pretty much.
Oh, thank you.
and I'll mark off 50 gold pieces from my alchemist supplies.
So you made 4 potions?
2
No,
potions.
I only made 2 because
Oh, 2. Got
it
it.
takes 1 day to make each potion.
Yep, that's right. Good. All right, cool. And Jay, you saw what I linked right to the party to everybody.
I see. it.
Yes.
Okay.
See it. Cool.
So, Kareem, when you went up, by the way, to the second floor, and also, Thornbury, you also saw the same thing that I described to Zorana before in his room, which was that floating orb, his giant bed, the chest, and all those shelves.
Oh, okay. Can I? I'm still on the top floor, right? Or where am I? Still on the top floor?
Yeah, you're on the third floor in the area.
Or third floor, right? Did the giant guy already leave?
Yeah, I mean, if you're leaving, the Griffin roost,
And jump on his
he
leg?
can either take you down or you can go down yourself.
I'm too afraid.
All right, so he'll take you down.
Okay. Can I go to the second floor, please, sir?
Well, it's a little forward of you, isn't it, Kareem? Says that's my personal bedroom, but sure, why not?
What is?
He sets you down.
You already stepped
What?
into the van with a stranger
Zerwan,
guy.
are
You might as
you-
well go to his bedroom.
Are you? Zerana, are you coming down as well?
Yeah, I'll go down as well.
Oh my! Sounds like a party.
Oh man.
What is this strange orb?
So, let me see something. So I'm gonna link something in the journal because I think it'll be relevant to you guys. And just keep in mind, if you can't read giant, you don't actually know these runes. But the orb itself actually has a rune emblazoned on it. So just to describe it again, it appears to be made of a very, very bright silvery metal. It's 7 feet in diameter. It's floating 10 feet off of the ground. It's like practically vibrating or thrumming with power. And it's got a specific rune embossed on it, which is the same rune that I just linked to you from this file, which is the Sky Rune. It's the second one from the top. Second one from the left on the top row, the Sky Rune. He says, this is the tower's navigation orb. With this, I'm able to control the tower itself. I can put my hands on it and command it. It only works for cloud giants. But it essentially allows me to tell the tower wherever I want it to go.
What if I
Luskin, right? Is that the right place, or was it really Golden Fields?
Golden Fields.
Golden Fields would be the place?
All right. Just being sure.
Can I touch it?
He said it works for cloud giants.
Sure. I
Yeah.
don't see why not. And he kind of grabs you by the waist and he lifts you up so you could touch it.
I touch it.
So it's really cold and very, very smooth, and it is slightly vibrating.
Ooh.
And even as you touch it, you can kind of see like a little spark come from it into your fingertip, but it's harmless.
Okay, I stopped touching it.
It's kind of like one of those globes that you ever seen at like
Oh yeah.
Those
I know you're
electrical
talking about.
balls.
Yeah, those-
static
exactly.
balls.
yeah.
Very interesting. And what else is on this room? Just his bed, an orb,
Bed
and
and
It's
Shelves.
bed, a chest, and a bunch of shelves. And the shelves themselves, they have a vast collection of books. Most of them seem to be written in giant.
is there windows out here too? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, those are the
Yep.
windows.
Those are long, slender stained glass windows that pretty much go from floor to ceiling.
Oh, okay. What was on the shelf? Sorry.
What? What did you ask me?
What is on the
What
shelves?
was what's
I
on
think
the shelf?
just books and things.
Oh, numerous journals. Probably at least 500 of them.
Oh wow.
They all seem to
Oh.
be written in giant. Like
The stuff that
the
he's
spines. Mhm.
So it's just his adventures.
Probably. Most likely.
Are those all of your adventures that you've written down? And I point towards the books.
Oh, you could say that they're not really adventures, to be completely honest. They're actually my research journals on the Moonshay Isles. I catalog its many wonders, both magical and mundane.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
Maybe
I think you're the
Yes.
first person to ever say that.
I mean, why not? I mean, there's information that's probably no one else has ever seen before, right? Maybe, I don't know.
It is a place near and dear to my heart. I love the landscape. I know the land very, very well, but it's always has its mysteries as well. Always something that it's willing to give up, but not easily.
Let's check under the bed, see if there's anything in there.
You see a large pair of sandals.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. Dust.
It looks
Is there
relatively.
something like giant dust balls.
I mean, you could
I don't know. Are we?
under the bed.
Dust this size would be like a dust golem.
I feel like we're not doing too much on here.
Well, we're just kind of, you're just kind of wasting time till the 2 days pass. So to make it a little bit interesting, the very next day after you guys spend some time here, and you're probably covered about half the distance to Goldenfield. Do you guys? Yeah, you are going to Goldenfield. Are you guys setting up any watch?
Mm,
Or do you
Should
trust?
we?
Do you trust Zephyros enough to,
I'm gonna keep a watch. I don't really trust him. He's
I
got
don't
this
either.
weird Twitch thing going.
Yeah.
I'm pretty nervous about it.
Sure, that's no
me,
problem.
me
And
and Thornburg are gonna keep watch.
Okay,
Okay.
sure. So you guys kind of like alternate.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out. When you're
I'm
keeping watch, are
pretending
you
to-
like looking to the sky at all, or do you just mainly keep watch inside the tower?
I mean, we're gonna be on the first floor. Where's he keeping us? Like, where are we?
Yeah,
First
the
floor.
first floor. You have the run of the
Lookout.
first floor.
you can
I mean,
Yeah,
even
so-
if we looked up under the little hole area, isn't there like a roof at the very, very top?
There's a roof that is 100 feet above your heads that goes to the second floor, where his bedroom is located.
And then above the second floor, like, there's that huge hole, right? You can see all the way through it, right to the very top, right?
Yes, but actually, it's covered by a hat, like a giant,
Right.
a giant roof that's in the shape of a hat, so you actually can't see the sky.
Well,
So we'd have to look outside the window.
There's like a
Yeah.
window right here.
there's
on
like the
first
door
floor.
up here too.
Yeah. There's like a
That's
door
correct.
slash window.
Yes,
on the
there's
first floor.
there. You see this little curtain here? That's actually a translucent blue curtain that kind of flaps with the wind.
So yeah, I guess during the watch I'll occasionally check just to make sure we're going in the right direction. And then just kind of keeping an eye out to make sure he leaves us alone.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna
So-
mostly be looking outside because it's probably pretty peaceful. But I'll make sure everyone's okay and stuff. And listen.
Okay.
And,
So, Kareem, high or low?
I guess if I'm looking on, probably high actually, because I'd be looking at the stars.
So, at some point during your watch, what you can see approaching the tower itself is an odd sight. And it really stands out to you because most of your companions are currently sleeping. Zephyros is sleeping. You're going to be reaching Golden Fields tomorrow. But what you can actually see are... Sorry, I'm taking so long. Just give me a second. It's like I closed the window by accident. All right. So what you can actually see are a number of very thin, lightly armored, or perhaps some sort of humanoids that look like they're riding very, very giant black birds, and they seem to be headed in your direction.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit!
The birds themselves, they look like they have very bushy necks of white fur, and the beaks are like curved and pointed, and immediately the image that comes to mind are vultures.
Hmm.
Oh no!
And I think that's where we're going to stop it right there, is where you see these 9 humans or creatures, humanoids riding vultures, making their way in the middle of the night
Oh,
toward your
God.
tower.
damn.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, for purposes of next session, if like Dan and Marin do join, then I'm just gonna assume that they were with you the whole time. So
Okay.
don't worry about that or anything.
Alter reality
Yeah,
All right.
in a different timeline.
yeah.
Eric, did everybody have fun tonight?
Yeah, that was a
I
great
did- I
time. That was a
did.
good one.
Yeah, it was fun.
That I'm looking forward to getting to fighting these guys at the beginning of next time. But,
Yeah, I didn't want to start a combat now because obviously we're
No,
already at the end of the
yeah.
session.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it though. That was a lot of good role play.
that was really good. I really
Good.
liked
It was
this
fun.
tower.
I really like having 4 people. I feel like 4 people is so much better than like 5 people. I don't know why.
Well, you get more of an opportunity to role play.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll
But,
see how bad we get our asses kicked by these birds, though. Bird flying people. Then we'll be wishing for a fifth.
It's not like they can knock down the tower.
They're scaled.
I'm
I hope.
I'm bummed out that I already used my wing. My
Oh no,
Wing
you got it
ability.
back because that was on the first day. This is the second day.
So- oh, yeah.
It's
I
actually
did
it's actually
rest.
night of the second day.
okay.
Oh wait, so like I'm
Wonderful.
full height.
That's great news.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're full
Oh,
you're
my
full
ass.
health. Everybody's got their spells back.
We were full health before, though.
Well, I fell on my ass. So.
Oh, yeah.
And Zinfil, in terms of the books that you've been reading, like hit the vast majority of all the other books he has are all about the Moonshae.
Oh.
So you know what? Because you've been doing so much reading, I'm just gonna say like, for the next few weeks, if you ever have to make any lore checks about the Moonshae Isles, you could just refer back to the stuff that you read here, and I'll give you advantage on it.
Cool. Love it.
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
so that's it. End of session. We play again on the 29th.
Sweet.
So everybody enjoy their Thanksgiving.
We will.
Yeah. Thank you. You too.
Do you mean
Okay.
the 20? Oh wait, yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
29.
I was thinking for some reason it's on Mondays because we were playing Monday today.
Tuesday.
29th, got it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Sounds good. All right. Good night, everyone.
Awesome.
Nice playing with you.
Have a good night.
You as well. Good night, guys.
All right.
See ya.